Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always, don't miss anything, but if you do, it's all right. You can get caught up. We'll post all 3 hours of the program upon its conclusion, both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. You can always email the show if you like, jcs@97.espnradio.com. Find me on Twitter @JCameronShow. WTSM app for your mobile devices. So if you're having trouble with Tropos occasionally, we feel your pain there, man. That's not our fault. It's frustrating. So just use the app if you have to, and it comes in crystal clear. Want to watch us on YouTube, as I say, ESPN Tallahassee. Hello, YouTubers. If you want to Periscope the program, you can as well on Twitter. Just follow @979 ESPN Radio. Almost get you teary-eyed when you think about the start of college football season being today, 15 days away. 15, Tom Wang.
Holy smokes.
15, brother. That's it. That's all.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's real now.
15 days, 11 hours, 55 minutes, 51 seconds. That's how much time we have until we get it on. And those games, by the way, I will not just dismiss the greatness of a Wyoming-New Mexico State matchup. No, rather I will tune in.
I would think there'd be a side to take in that game, sir, right?
There will be. I mean, I'm going to root for Wyoming. I'll look a little closer at what New Mexico State brings back this year. I wasn't real sure.
Well, you have the early season scouting report game down pat, and it's the most impressive thing Big Daddy J does. Not Big Daddy J.
Big Daddy J, sure.
Because for me, I'm much more in the flow. I got to see it with my own eyes.
No, you got to take advantage of Vegas right now before they see it with their own eyes.
But, you know, as far as August/early September recommendations go, that's rock solid over there, man.
Yeah, I think that's a specialty. In the last 5 years, I've done quite well. Then it's tough. Then when you get about the middle of the season, they've got a good feel for everybody. Then it's a little bit dicier. Early on, you can really take advantage of Vegas, especially in college football. Not so much in the pros.
I'm a guy that once I find my team, ride with me on the team that I'm riding with.
Right.
Now, I may have some other stuff that I give or take.
Yeah.
But like Clemson a couple of years ago, I was on them, and I knew exactly what to do with them every single week. Boston College would have been a good one last year for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, you and I, we're kind of pseudo-experts on Boston College football. I mean, there's a lot of Boston College watching going on over here on the Jeff Cameron Show. We actually do. I mean, Tom and I have actually had moments where it's kind of, I mean, it might be startling to somebody, but we'll meet at the corner pocket or something like that, or text, and I'll say, hey, man, you saw BC plays UMass later on tonight. You want to get together for that? And there's no equivocation. Like, he doesn't write back, what? He goes, oh, didn't see that. 7? Yeah, meet you there.
Yeah. We've done that. Actually, we've retired on a Friday night, not the infamous Friday night last year.
Right.
But they'll play a couple of Friday games now, BC.
Well, yes, they will.
They're like USF in that regard.
Proud of it, yeah.
But, yeah, after a show, perhaps a pregame, or not a pregame show, but a live show over at 7th or Corner Pocket.
Stick around for a little BC football.
We'll go find that CBS Sports Network feed of the BC game, and we'll take it in.
Also, that first little stretch there of games that are just 15 days away. Duquesne at UMass. Now, I got to admit, I am starving, but I'm not that hungry. I mean, it's not – no, not going to happen. Need a little bit more.
Yeah, just a
little bit more to chew on there. Like, for example, I'm not watching Prairie View and Rice either.
Woo!
Nope, not going to do it. Not going to watch Prairie View and Rice.
I think my high school football growing up was better than that.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Although I really like Rice's uniforms. Hawaii at Colorado State. Okay, you got me.
There it is. That's that Saturday, the 25th. Is that accurate?
That is Saturday the 25th.
Okay, we're carrying that game right here on these airwaves.
Boom! All right, we've got that game.
Yes, we do.
We're carrying that game. We've got a little college football for you 15 days from now.
That's right. Hawaii, Colorado State. Buckle up.
All right. I like it. Well, hey, I'm excited about tonight. We're carrying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for you. In fact, when this show ends tonight, 6 o'clock, you stay tuned in right here, and you'll hear the Bucs pregame show. It's the first of a ton of football games we got for you here on ESPN Radio.
Fire them cannons!
Yeah. There it is. Good old Gene Deckerhoff. So the pregame show's at 6. Kickoff is at 7. one of, as you heard in the local sports center, one of what, 12 games tonight? All right.
Yeah, this is where that preseason gets going. You know, I've found something, and I know that you've been talking about you have newfound interest in the preseason.
I am looking at it a little bit here.
I enjoy watching rookies. It started a couple of years ago, but I enjoy watching college football household names run very vanilla schemes, and I just want to see how they fit against the speed of grown men. That's a great thing to watch this first week of the preseason. And if that means you actually, from start to finish, watch 1 hour of one game, and then you go to NFL.com the next day and see the mashup of all the highlights.
Mashups, right? Yeah.
It's wildly entertaining.
It's a way to ease yourself. You're just dipping your toes in that water right there. You're just, okay, I got you preseason. I'm not going all in on you, but I can look at some things that might help me down the line and give me a feel, by the way. So a couple of things here. I meant to get to this yesterday, just didn't. Sometimes things slip my mind. We get to chit-chatting about other things, and I forget about it. But, yes, I was aware that Xavier Peters qualified, and that's a big deal for Florida State. You may remember that name. He was the 4-star linebacker that Florida State was recruiting. There was some question marks about whether or not he was going to qualify academically. He has, and he's going to be eligible to play this fall. Now, we're going to use him, I think, as a defensive end, is what it sounds like. But this is a kid that you should be excited about. Remember, when Florida State was vying for his services, he was being recruited by Georgia, and we know the way they're recruiting right now. He was being recruited by Texas. He was being recruited by Southern Cal. He was being recruited by Alabama, Florida, amongst others. So Penn State, I think, was on that list. So a lot of big-time college football teams.
And what happened with him is a lot of those schools, they just decided to focus their energy elsewhere because they didn't think that he was going to do the paperwork to get himself into school.
And he did.
It was a Kentucky-Florida State battle, which you'd say, what? No, we're competing with Kentucky? No, people they didn't believe the kid could do it. And guess what? He got it done in the classroom, so here he is.
Yeah, so it's exciting, and another weapon on defense, and it's at a position where we're a little thin. We could use a little depth. He could maybe play linebacker. Also, we're a little thin. A little depth there would be nice. Talent, if you read around, you ask around, you talk to people who are in recruiting circles, and what do they think of this kid? They'll all say the same thing. He hits like a Mack truck. Okay, I'm sold. Got it. That's good. Yeah, that's what I want to hear about a linebacker/end.
6'4", 225. It's easier, I think, to be a rush end right out of high school. There's a lot less to worry about. But if you listen to the coach's comments this morning, defensive coaches talked to the assembled press, and his comments, he gave an interview to Michael Langston over at warchant.com.
Yes, he did.
It's the same pattern. I think they want me to play defensive end, but you never know. I could end up playing linebacker. The coaches and player both seem to be on the same page there. He may grow into a different player as his college career goes along.
He's already gotten bigger, is what they're saying, since the time that they were recruiting him. So he's already, he's getting big. And then there was the announcement earlier this afternoon, that Florida State will be taking on LSU in the years 2022 and 2023. On the surface, again, I'm excited about that. That's something I'd like. We talk about these matchups where you get to play name-recognized schools. And, of course, we've played LSU a lot, and we own their ass. 7 wins to 2 losses, and I can remember the 3-game series there in the late 80s, early 90s where we won. But, I love that. But, again, college football's got a problem here, man. They keep doing this, and they need to stop, because one of the great things about college football is the pageantry, is the tradition, is the visit to one's, campus. You get excited about the idea of traveling and seeing how it's done at rival schools, or just other schools in general. They don't have to be rival schools, but schools of note, and LSU is certainly one. And Baton Rouge is a famous place to go watch college football. It is as good as it gets in the world of college football. And so when somebody tells me we've got Florida State LSU in 2022, 2023, my mind instantly goes to, tailgating for 16 hours in Baton Rouge getting ready for Florida State LSU. But no. You got to go to Orlando, neutral site. Got to go to New Orleans. Now, I love New Orleans. It's one of my favorite cities. Very unique American city. Very, very unique. Can't say that about a lot of cities. You can't. There are a lot of big cities, a lot of interesting cities, a lot of cities that have certainly a history to them that is worth investigating, but very few charmingly unique cities exist like New Orleans, and New Orleans is that. I mean, absolutely different from anywhere else in America. So I like it, But if you're talking about playing a college football game, I want to go to Baton Rouge. I want to be on that campus, just like I would if we're playing anybody else at a conference of note. If we ever sign on to play Texas or anybody, I want to be in Austin. I don't want to go to these neutral site places. And I get it. The money is huge, and you don't want to turn it down. But damn it, man. You lose out on a home game, first of all, in one of those years, which is bad for the community, and we're cheated.
I just don't understand, seeing as television is, the bulk of the revenue for these games, how a bigger check isn't cut by finding a sponsor for a home-and-home series.
Yeah, so the Chick-fil-A Florida State LSU series, or today's game is brought to you by, right?
Old FedEx or whatever it is.
You even put it on the home field. I don't care.
And whenever you exactly right. Whenever you ask, who do you want to play? For me, because I didn't see the games in the late 80s, early 90s, LSU, that's the one. I want to go experience what's going on over there.
Yes.
So when I saw the first part of the tweet,
you got pumped.
I did, and then I saw the rest of it, and I went, meh. Okay, whatever. We're playing LSU.
Well, it's always hard, first of all, because the game is 4 years from now, 4 and 5 years from now. So, on the one hand, even if we were playing these in our own backyard or over in Baton Rouge, you would only be mildly excited. That's going to be cool someday. If I'm still alive, that'll be pretty cool. I know that my brain always goes morbid. But even then, that is all diluted because of this, because of the neutral site nature of these games. I hate, look at the first week of the season, which we've done a lot of because we're just starving for it, and we've talked about it. I printed out the list.
How many times, over under to everybody out there, how many times have you checked the schedule for the first week of the college football season?
I practically had all 92 matchups memorized.
Right. So, 12 and a half times somebody's gone to a website and clicked over and taken a look.
Well, and I printed out 92 games is what you got on opening weekend. 92. And I printed out a list of all 92. Ooh. Now, I did that for when I was hosting the national show because I don't want to get caught off guard if somebody says, hey, what are your thoughts on, I don't know, Colorado State or something. I needed to know that game was being played.
Right. Austin P. Sam Houston State.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, if somebody's calling about that, I don't know that I'm taking
I don't know
that
that they play each other. I just, two random universities.
But, you might get a Cincinnati at UCLA call about Chip Kelly's new song and dance, and what are my thoughts on that? Well, I hadn't really looked at Cincinnati lately, but now, okay, I got the list. So here you go. And when you do it, here's what stands out. Okay, Auburn-Washington's the game I'm most excited about beyond ours, obviously, but Auburn and Washington is the one that I think has playoff implications and I think could be a really big deal, especially for the Pac-12, especially for Washington.
It's like the swing state if you looked at it like an election. It's going to change the talking points, and it's going to change the course of everything from that point on, SEC Pac-12.
I agree, and so I'm most excited about that game. But then I think, well, damn it. It's the neutral site game. How cool would this be if this was in Washington or at Auburn? I mean, it'd just be better. It would have a better feel. I duly note that Michigan at Notre Dame that first week, which is awesome, is actually at Notre Dame. It's on campus. Good.
It's going to be a fun day, man.
Ooh, buddy. Yeah. But a lot of these are not, Tennessee, West Virginia, and you go on down the list, which we've already talked about.
That's in Charlotte. The city of Charlotte is welcoming the Tennessee tailgates and the West Virginia tailgates. And they're going to interact with each other.
That ought to be an interesting tailgating experience.
Imagine if you were visiting America for the first time and you just happen to be in Charlotte because for families there or something. Yeah. And that's what you walk out and go see.
Tennessee, West Virginia?
Right.
They're not splitting the atom?
Well, because you know how close that stadium is to downtown from the ACC championships of years past.
That's right.
So you could be walking around downtown Charlotte, and there you go. We're trying to get breakfast, and you got...
Damn it, man. Look at all these hillbillies. What is going on? I know we're in the South, but this is ungodly.
Yeah. I'm waiting into Brugger's trying to get some breakfast, and here's this guy over here.
That's funny you bring that up because I specifically woke your ass up to walk you over to that Brugger's.
It's the one breakfast place I know in Charlotte.
You bring it up every time you bring up Charlotte now. I'm going to be 65 years old. He's going to be like, well, we're going back to Charlotte. You think that Brugger's is still
right?
Yeah. I mean,
the marching chiefs were there that morning.
They were?
Yeah. They had to be up.
You had to be up because it was time to get up, man.
It's like 7:40.
It was not that early. It was. I think I started waking you up around then, but by the time we got over there, and I had been up for some time, Tom. I waited it out.
Corey Clark knows my plight on this one. I was a different guy then, though. Now I would have been up with you.
You'd have been, all right, let's go. Let's go. What are we doing here? And you would have said, we're not going to Brugger's. What the hell are we doing? We're somewhere local. It's Charlotte. Let's go find a local place.
Yeah, something.
But when you're sleepy the way you are, I just got to get you to where I can get you. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
For 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already. Grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Four hours from kickoff, Tampa Bay Buccaneer football, that is, and we have the game right here for you, 97.9 ESPN Radio. That game tonight, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock pregame show, again, on our airwaves. We've got a ton of football to bring your way all throughout the season, both college and pro. So your home for the Bucs is 97.9 ESPN Radio, and we get started today.
And we'll be poaching the best college football games and that we can every week because we have both ESPN's schedule and Westwood One's schedule available to us, which is pretty great. So if you're tailgating here locally, getting ready for the Knowles game, whatever it is, man, stay up to date and entertain with us.
You're damn right. I see where Willie Taggart's got the team out there on the practice fields, stretching and singing the fight song indeed. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Well done, Willie. Well done, staff. As the guys have to know it. Got to know that you got to be able to join in on the win. Roll on down to make those goals and all that good stuff. Got to do it. And so it was that I clicked the video. I couldn't help myself. And then in doing so, I heard somebody yell, what? And it bothers me like it bothers everybody else. It's just not necessary. Now, I'm not going to go all over Twitter and go crazy about it. But it's not necessary.
It's annoying. It's not a deal breaker for me. I won't do it.
I don't do it. I don't like it. It's not part of the song.
But it doesn't ruin my day. It clearly ruins some people's days.
Well, because it's become a big thing. Like it's somehow worked its way in there, and it's almost as if you can't.
Mea culpa. It's our generation. It was the Lost Acadians. They started it.
Why'd you guys do that?
I didn't start it.
It's stupid.
I gave up the student section after about 3 games my first year. Then I paid the extra $210 or whatever it was for student season tickets, and then they put you up at the 50 on the visitor sideline, way up in the sky. But better view of the game, and it doesn't smell like vodka and puke, like it does in the end zone.
Vodka doesn't have a smell, but
yeah, when you're sweating it out? Oh, yes, sir.
Well, when you're sweating it out, okay.
Because it'd be 105, and, people are yelling, like I've said, put in X. No, Drew's the right quarterback. And it's like, guys, the answer is none of the above, but sure, let's come to blows over it, right?
That was an incessant argument, wasn't it? Yeah. So we do this a lot. If you're relatively new to the show, you may not know this, but for whatever reason, I'm getting old. That's the reason. I'm 47. But it always strikes me, the passage of time, how rapidly it goes by. And I sometimes, whenever I come across something in the midst of my show outline, putting together content, all that, I'll read something that just happens to be either in the paper I'm reading or online in the article I'm reading, and something comes up and I go, what? That can't be. And then I got to double check it. Bernie Mac, comedian.
Yeah.
How long do you think he's been dead?
Well, 5 years.
10.
10?
Dude's been dead 10 years.
Oh, my God.
He died in 2008. Bernie Mac.
Oh.
On this day.
Wow.
10 years ago. That's it. That's not. It felt like 3. It really did. When somebody mentioned in passing that Bernie Mac, it was the anniversary of Bernie Mac's death, and then I, of course, was curious because I always am. I was like, well, was that just a few years ago? It was 10 years ago.
Holy smokes. Ocean's 13 came out 11 years ago. I was like, there's no way that movie's 10 years old. No, it's not. It's 11.
Just before he died.
That's what, yeah, because, I remember thinking I was like, oh, man, that stinks. It won't be a 14.
You got right to the important stuff.
Well, those are good movies. I'm a sucker for them. Those are all good movies.
Anyhow, so it's been 10 years since Bernie Mac died, man. That doesn't even seem possible.
Wow.
It doesn't. There's just no way. Oh, that's disturbing. It bothers me. A lot of these times I go, oh, well, okay.
That seems about right.
Seems about right. Or I'll go, oh, I thought that was longer ago. No, or
You know what makes no sense? I would have sworn that Bernie Mac died after I started with the show in some capacity as an intern or
I
part-timer.
thought so for sure. I thought we were having a conversation about it about 2 years ago.
Right, yeah. It predates any time I've had in radio.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
No. So when you joined the Jeff Cameron show, in essence, we lived in a world where Bernie Mac just didn't exist. We knew that. He was dead.
That's correct.
It was just understood by the both of us.
Right, for about 10 months. Yeah, 9-10 months there. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Not only was he dead, Jeff, he was dead for nearly a year once Tom came on. Like, we would have been celebrating the year's anniversary shortly after you started.
Well,
that's a weird thing to celebrate.
Not celebrating.
It would have been
sure.
odd, right?
Yeah.
You know? No, not celebrating, but we would recognizing. So, no. Definitely not celebrating. I liked Bernie Mac. No, I mean, definitely not celebrating.
He was funny, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Bernie Mac show?
I'm not a sitcom guy anymore, and it's been a long time since I was. I just liked his stand-up. And
it didn't have a laugh track to it.
Oh, well, then I could have tolerated it.
It was something I didn't watch every week, but every time I did, I'd laugh 2 or 3 times because it's monologue. It's almost like a reality TV feel to it.
Yeah.
So he'll break the wall and talk to the camera.
The fact that it didn't have a laugh track is a real good thing, an important point for me, as you well know.
Yeah, Seinfeld's still out of play, huh? You can't do it anymore.
Can't do it. Every time I watch it now, that's all I hear. I just hear the laugh track over and over and over again, and I go, damn it, man. With the laugh track, why? Let the joke stand. Let it work. Let it soar or fail on its own. We don't need influence. That was the devil. Whoever thought of putting laugh tracks in shows should be harmed.
Well, I mean, the Flintstones had a laugh track.
I know.
Think about that.
I love the Flintstones, but I probably can't watch it now.
We need an animated series with a laugh track.
It's the same one they used on every show because it all sounded exactly the same. It's the same uproarious laughter, over mildly entertaining.
Maybe your friend Steven can enlighten me next time he comes up. But why is it that sometimes the laugh track is clearly composed of the actors and actresses in the show? Like Family Guy calls to attention. Stewie does a sitcom, but then it's Stewie's laughter after Stewie's jokes. You couldn't just let the audience do that?
You don't need to do it at all. Just not do it at all. All right, so practice. They're stepping up tempo, folks. They got things going a lot quicker, and the linemen are feeling it. You go watch those videos. If you've been out at practice, you know they kind of started off easing them into it as you should. But it's fun to watch some of these guys now because Coach Fry's not having it. We're getting after it now. It's time to step up your game. The shoulder pads go on. We're hitting a little bit here now. And that's exciting. Just as exciting while we talk Florida State football that Xavier Peters is qualified. Probably going to play him as a defensive end. Young man that, we were excited about, 4-star linebacker. Weren't sure we were going to be able to get him in, but he is, and he's qualified, and he's eligible.
I mean, when you have guys like Burns and Kando getting after the quarterback, you don't need a starter, but the body type suggests that Peters can step in and at least hold his own right away. I mean, if he was undersized at 205, 210, it takes a special athlete to be able to get on the field at that frame. But at 6'4", 225, 230, I mean, yes, he's grown enough to step in and give you some reps right now. The question is, when will he acclimate? He's got to wait a couple of days and then go through his own shorts and jersey days.
The whole process, So we'll see. But he was a kid that was recruited by Alabama, recruited by Georgia, recruited by Florida, who doesn't get anybody these days. Was recruited by Texas.
Did you see the quote yesterday from Mullen about recruiting rankings aren't everything? Check the box, dude.
I love it. I love it, man. He's going to start talking graduation rates before they ever play a game. It's going to happen. Winners in life. Go for it, Dan. It's all that's left, buddy.
It's going down that path. I'll pull up the quote.
It is stunning. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 and ESPN Radio.
need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely zero-turn mowers.
And holding out in training camp like Aaron Donald, ultimately I think they're going to get paid the same as they would if they didn't.
Jeff Darlington on Golick and Wingo. The Giants play their preseason opener tonight against the Browns. That's one of 12 preseason games tonight. The 13-member College Football Playoff Selection Committee met this week to talk about plans for the upcoming season. The first playoff ranking will be on October 30th, live on ESPN. Selection Day will be December 2nd. There are 6 new committee members this year, including former USC All-American Ronnie Lott. Cubs right-hander Yu Darvish could be headed to a minor league rehab assignment after he throws one more bullpen session. Darvish hasn't pitched in almost 3 months with triceps tendonitis. He signed a 6-year, $126 million contract in February. Tommy Fleetwood finished 12th at the Open Championship, earning just over $150,000. Problem is, the European Tour sent the prize money to a different Tommy Fleetwood, a golf teacher in Florida. The mistake has since been corrected.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, 'cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Hey, this is Wendell Parker of Parker Brothers Roofing. Most startup companies go out of business within their first 3 years. It takes years of experience for a roofing company to be exposed to and learn all the things that can go wrong. Don't gamble your valuable home to an inexperienced roofer. Parker Brothers has been in business in the community since 1995. Give us a call now at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
CGC 042221, CCC 049350.
Need help moving? 2 Men and a Truck Tallahassee provides professional home and business move services, both locally and long distance. For your next move, visit 2men.com or call them at 850-224-2232. 2 Men and a Truck, the movers who care.
Coffee shop, gas station, grocery store, Polly's Palace of Fine Coats. One of these purchases is not like the others. Sound suspicious? We thought so too. Today, we're recommitting to you and continuing to help keep your money safe, like alerting you to certain card activity we find suspicious. If it's not your purchase, we'll help you resolve it. Wells Fargo, established 1852, re-established 2018. Availability may be affected by your mobile carrier's coverage area. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left!
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
If you've got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished, go find my friends at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. They're the best. I'm learning, man. But what I've learned by going over there is not only is the place got everything you could possibly want for said project, but people love it. They love it because you get big box pricing with local service, 2 locations, and they're open on Saturdays as well in the Tallahassee location from 8 a.m. until noon. So those 2 locations, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. And we like to thank them as often as possible for coming on and sponsoring the show, being the show sponsor. I see what you're writing here, Tom. I see what you sent me, a Chris Lowe article in which that quote is derived, Dan Mullen, on some Florida fans voicing concern. These are Florida fans. The rest of us are sitting back saying nothing but pointing and laughing, but we're voicing our...
Did you send out that photo yesterday? I mean, I know it was on social media, but did you push it forward by retweeting? The Dan Mullen photo with the
I did not retweet the photo.
Okay.
It's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's a troubling photo.
He's a little tone deaf about things, isn't he?
It appears so.
Yeah.
I see that thing and I go, who said good idea, Coach? I mean, here's the thing. I would guess that if you're older than the age of, say, 20, right, and you need somebody to handle your social media. I mean, if you're going to be on there, and I guess coaches feel compelled to be on there now to relate to the kids they're trying to recruit, so they're going to get on these various social media platforms. But have somebody who has some sense about them.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, is he tweeting that out?
I don't know if it's his idea or not. He's a good coach. We know that much. I mean, you don't take
he's a good game day coach, yeah.
You don't get Mississippi State on the national landscape, the number 1 in the polls, even for any period of time if you can't coach. So no knock there. But he's like that youth group leader who tries to be cool and hip with the kids.
Yeah.
And you just go, my God.
This isn't going to work.
I need to walk away now. I'm sorry, sir.
Well, so what was tweeted out by Chris Lowe, ESPN's a really good college football writer, was that Florida fans have voiced concern over the recruiting rankings, in which they were really, really bottoming out. And he said this about that. I look at it this way. Tim Tebow was on everybody's list. Dak Prescott wasn't. Both were very successful quarterbacks. It's going beyond that to find who really fits your program. Perhaps. But there are other positions, and it's helpful to have kids that can really play and are well thought of by everybody recruiting them. That is to say, they have the requisite skill set, talent, body type, whatever it might be, to earn that ranking more often than not. It's no guarantee they're going to be a success. I get it. And there are kids that aren't ranked that highly that go on to achieve greatness. Yep, it's possible. But it's also been borne out that over time, if you land more 5-star blue-chip recruits than other teams, you're going to win games, a lot of them, more often than you don't. And you're going to win national championships because of kids like that. See Alabama and others. See that 2013 Florida State team.
You may not want to wave the white flag through the media, because that's what that reads like. I know that's not your intent, but that's what that sounds like.
That's, again, another sign of tone deafness, man. He doesn't know that it sounds that way. But I think what's funny and what's going on here, and I concern myself with what we're doing, not what Florida's doing. And I like what we're doing, and I like what Florida's doing. I hope they continue. But one thing I would say about that is, you know how I am. Ordinarily, I want to revel in our successes and growth, and especially in the situation we're in now with a new coaching staff that hasn't coached a game yet, and there's a lot to see and learn. So I want to immerse myself in that process more than I do invest in watching Florida's failures on the recruiting trail. But certainly we're aware of these things. But I think the part that's interesting to me is there is a very vocal group of a growing group of very vocal Florida fans who can't help but notice every day that goes by where these recruiting rankings aren't improving and the gets aren't happening. And they went initially from sort of all right, well, let's just give them a little time here, off to a slow start. Just, okay, it can happen. It's upheaval. We'll see.
Hey, man, you beat Georgia. Maybe you can change some kids' minds.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It's year one, and he's a good in-game coach. We'll be all right. He'll get us a competent offense out there. I know that. Good God, it's been forever since we've seen one of those. A little more time goes by. I'd like him to land somebody here soon. Georgia's got 10 top 150 recruits. We've got 0. Georgia's in our division, guys. Not all those guys are going to suck. I'm going to bet that some of those are really good. I'd like to have a couple. We've got none. They've got 10. This does not bode well. We're behind them as is. We need to be getting more than them to catch up. They have 10 times as many as we do. This is not a good thing.
An infinite number more, really.
Oh, really? That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're stuck at 0.
Yeah.
South Carolina's got 2 guys. And those are kids that are going to play in the state of South Carolina.
I believe you, sir, have as many top 100 recruits committed to you.
That's right, as Florida does.
As Florida does.
Yeah. Well, Georgia has more than the entire East put together. So that's troubling for the entire East division of the SEC. But damn it, man. And so it started to grow. And eventually, instead of trying to hide their frustrations and the pathetic efforts thus far on the recruiting trail, because they didn't want to be so loud as to draw attention to the fact that things were not going well.
Right, yes.
So it's like, okay, listen now, amongst us, we're just Gators in here. This is not good, man. My man's off to a slow start. But hold on, man. Don't go crazy yet. We don't need to draw attention to ourselves. We got a good guy. What's going on here? I'm a little concerned, guys. Go Gators. And then they get back together a week later, and there's the guy that's decided he's coming out. No, I don't care anymore, man. This guy can't recruit. Keep your voice down, man. Yep. What are you doing? Yeah. No, man. We're about to get our heads kicked in with all this nonsense. This guy hadn't got nobody. Steve. Damn it, man. I told you, keep it down.
I know you were named after Spurrier, but that doesn't give you license here.
Steve could recruit. This is ridiculous. We got nobody. We're going to get our ass beat weekly, and we've been doing that for years. I'm tired of it. All right, Steve, you can't come back to the next meeting. You have lost your cool, man. You've got no chill. And I don't want to hear it. It's a new day. New day of no recruiting. Sorry, ass.
Steve's right. More people need to hear this.
Guys, we're falling to pieces. The word's going to get out. We haven't gotten anybody. Nobody finds us interesting. Even when we break out the all whites, people just don't care. It's the Jeff Cameron Show.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely zero-turn mowers.
We're up with style.
Call today. Whitten Glass, the real glass people. 222-5781 or online at whittenglass.com. WHIDDON. Whitten, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945. 222-5781.
Are you tired of getting the same two-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener in DeWalt have your answer. Buy a 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee. 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
Front Row Knowles, featuring Tom Block and Keith Jones, is brought to you by Hobson Chevrolet in Cairo, Georgia. Get your best deal the Hobson way. Catch Front Row Knowles every Wednesday night at 6, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Coffee shop, gas station, grocery store, Pauly's Palace of Fine Coats. One of these purchases is not like the others. Sound suspicious? We thought so too. Today, we're recommitting to you and continuing to help keep your money safe, like alerting you to certain card activity we find suspicious. If it's not your purchase, we'll help you resolve it. Wells Fargo, established 1852, re-established 2018. Availability may be affected by our mobile carrier's coverage area. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
The Braves are putting the National League East on notice as they continue to play strong baseball as we roll into the summer.
Hit in the air and hit well. Left field and deep. And way out of here into the upper deck for Ronald Acuna's first Major League home run.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee, Bagel Market Bistro, and by Early Trucking Company in Arlington, Georgia. You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Update you real quick. If you don't want to know what's going on at the PGA Championship, round 1, turn your radio down. All right. It's going to be Ricky Fowler's time?
I don't know. He's making a statement, but it is a Thursday, Jeff.
He's been so close, though, so many times. He's had a lot of opportunities, and it's not – I don't really – include him in that group of players over the years that have come up short that reveal in the moment they're not going to have it. he's had too many good rounds on a Sunday where somebody just bested him. And you can't control that. But he's played with confidence. And he's had a couple of one-shot leads or one-shot separations on a Sunday that, is the difference between a major. But a lot of times you look at a guy like that and you'll say, well, he's due. Well, he shot 5 under today and leads after day one. But it is just day one. And I do wonder as time passes, as it did with Phil Mickelson, over the years, that becomes a monkey on the back. And you do wonder, does it make it that much more difficult to shake it when you've been so close so many times and you clearly have the game? I mean, the game is there. But Phil was able to do that. And it took him forever.
Well, yeah, Sergio was in that class, too, where it wasn't happening for him. People were like, no, don't worry about it. And then it goes from laughing it off to nervous laughter.
Well, what happens, too, though, I think for some players, not all, is you get so close and you get heartbroken. You've had so many moments. Somebody rolls up and drops a 64 on you, and you go out and shot a 68 and you lose by a stroke. You really didn't do anything wrong. Somebody just went nuts on a Sunday. Or you play, poorly one round and it costs you the tournament and it happens to be on a Sunday. If you do that a lot, then at some point you get labeled as a guy that can't get it done or the nerves overcome you. But that really hasn't been him. But there is added pressure as each year goes by without having registered that major. What does also happen is that when a guy gets one, a lot of times, it opens the floodgates. Then they just are free to go play. And the burden of not having won a major is off their back. So we'll see. He was a popular pick coming in. Tiger Woods, in a weird way, should really celebrate his even par round today because he was 3 over through 2 and got off to another terrible start. What's new? Another major, another horrible first 2 holes for Tiger Woods, just kind of what he does for some reason these days. But he fights all the way back.
I saw the first 2 and final 2 holes of his round in between doing some work. And obviously the first hole he started on 10, which is going to be a difficult one this week. At the time he completed the hole, the stroke average was about 4.4, 4.5. So it's playing very difficult for a par 4. But he missed the fairway with driver on the first hole, which was the question coming in. Was driver. He had to pitch out. The lie was so bad he had to pitch out, try to get up and down from a great distance. Could not do it. And then the next hole, he hits the rough into the rough again on a short par 4, about 350 yards. He's hitting a driving iron, and it's deep in the rough. And he ends up putting it in the drink short of the green. He completely misjudges the lie coming out of it. So now he has to get up and down for bogey. He cannot do it. And it looked like off the tee, he was just a mental mess. But something happened between then and the end of the round. He birdied his 17th hole, which was the 8th hole on the course card.
Yeah, turned things around, birdied 18 as well.
Got him back to even par. And then it ended up being that when Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy were 2 under through only about 4 or 5 holes apiece, and Tiger was +3, he caught up to Rory and nearly caught up to Justin Thomas.
Yeah, no surprise, by the way, also on that leaderboard to see an Ian Poulter who has been playing really good golf lately. He's at 3 under. Your buddy Pat Perez has been playing great golf all year long, is at 3 under.
Matt Millar's had him in the pool, our pool this year, and he's not had the courage to play him, but he did this week. Well, perhaps he'll be rewarded.
Yeah, he's tied for second currently. Jason Day at 3 under as well. I got Jason out there. My only pick to click that really let me down is old Tony Finau decided he didn't feel like playing golf because he shot a 4 over, and my feelings are hurt. I have him in a pool, perhaps. But that's your look at the leaderboard. We'll get you some of the other significant names as the tournament goes on. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
TNT.
In my attic. That's really going to keep my cooling costs down.
These are some great suggestions. There are lots of ways to save. Caller, you're on the air.
I reduce energy for water heating by lowering my water heater temperature and installing low-flow shower heads.
We have time for one more caller. What do you have for us?
I make sure to use my programmable thermostat to regulate the temperature in my home when I'm away.
Thank you, caller. That's all the time we have today.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities would like to help you save as much energy as you can and save money while you're at it. Visit talgov.com for more information and start saving energy today.
The Braves are putting the National League East on notice as they continue to play strong baseball as we roll into the summer.
Hit in the air and hit well. Left field and deep. And way out of here into the upper deck for Ronald Acuna's first Major League home run.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee, Bagel Market Bistro, and by Early Trucking Company in Arlington, Georgia.
It's hard to feel lucky when your dishwasher breaks, or your dryer, or refrigerator. But maybe you should. Right now, the Home Depot has up to 25% off the high-quality brands you'd feel lucky to own, like GE, LG, and Samsung. So if you've got an appliance that needs replacing, this could be your lucky break. Get up to 25% off top appliances now, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. While supplies last, see store for details, valid through August 22nd.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Patriots are adding $5 million worth of incentives to Tom Brady's contract this season. Brady is scheduled to make $15 million. His current contract runs out after the 2019 season. Giants wideout Odell Beckham Jr. is hoping for a new contract. In the meantime, he is at training camp. ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
Quite frankly, I think that he would like to stay in New York and wants to definitely keep that option open, but he should not, in my opinion, step on the field at all during training camp. I think he should be protecting himself. In no way do I think the team ultimately covets in negotiations. I think it's completely overrated when we say whether a guy is there and getting goodwill out of a team or not there and holding out in training camp like Aaron Donald. Ultimately, I think they're going to get paid the same as they would if they didn't.
Jeff Darlington on Golick and Wingo. The Giants play their preseason opener tonight against the Browns. That's one of 12 preseason games tonight. The 13-member College Football Playoff Selection Committee met this week to talk about plans for the upcoming season. The first playoff ranking will be on October 30th, live on ESPN. Selection Day will be December 2nd. There are 6 new committee members this year, including former USC All-American Ronnie Lott. Cubs right-hander Yu Darvish could be headed to a minor league rehab assignment after he throws one more bullpen session. Darvish hasn't pitched in almost 3 months with triceps tendonitis. He signed a 6-year, $126 million contract in February. Tommy Fleetwood finished 12th at the Open Championship, earning just over $150,000. Problem is, the European Tour sent the prize money to a different Tommy Fleetwood, a golf teacher in Florida. The mistake has since been corrected.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. Hope you're well. Woo! Soon these Thursdays will be Redemption Thursdays. I cannot wait, damn it. Well, first of all, it allows us to delve right into something that I find near and dear to my heart, which is gambling. But secondly, and more importantly, it of course not only gives us a chance to showcase picking prowess, but benefit those in need, because we bet non-perishable food items for whatever establishment you'd like to donate those to, or charity that you'd like to donate those to. So, and it's on the honor system. We've been doing it for years. We'll get into it when the time is right.
I don't know what team I'm going to be on this year. This is tough.
Oh, wait, by the way, the race to 8. Isn't that the game we play every year? It is the preseason, and tonight there are 12 games in the NFL.
Yeah.
We've got one on our airwaves here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers football will get started at 6 o'clock with the pregame show, 7 o'clock kickoff right here all season long. But that said,
listening to the testing of that satellite system, and they're feeding like hard rock down the line.
Nice.
So during the breaks, I'm hoping it's the right channel, or else we're gonna get some.
We get 98 Rock.
Get 98 Rock. Yeah, there you go.
So all right. That said, you got to find your team that's not supposed to win a lot of games that you think can win 8. You got anybody in mind?
Yeah, Cleveland is an outside hope.
No chance, buddy. No
But when
chance.
Josh Gordon got hurt, that went by the wayside. He's kind of
important.
important.
He could have stayed healthy. He wasn't going to do it. We would have put it up there on the big board. We would have had our bet. About to be big board time again, too.
It is about to be big board time. Well, we have Woo Pig Suey records, right? That's
up there on the big board right now. I got Arkansas going 5-7. You've got them going 4-8 with a loss to Tulsa.
That's right.
Specifically. And director Matthew, Young Matthew, as he's also known on this show, has him going 6-6. That was kind of a cop-out wager for Matthew.
Big board.
6-6. So that's, and for some reason we decided, I don't know why, that we just wanted to go through and look at Arkansas's schedule. What was the reason for that?
The dead
summertime
of the off-season,
yeah,
I think.
Summertime. Yeah. It was just let's take a good long look at Arkansas. But it's so arbitrary. Like, we could have looked at anybody.
Well, you did a long story on just how bad they've been, and that no help is coming. No help is on the way.
Just no help coming.
Yeah.
Just like, Herm Edwards is at Arizona State. That's like no help coming. That's just not going to get done. That's just no help coming, buddy. Woo.
They'll put out those pregame speeches, though, with a quickness, won't they?
I'm going to tell you right now, that was an easy under I raced to bet on. I think it was 4.5. I went, nope, not going to get there. I think that was right. Whatever the under was, I took it.
I'm afraid for the players' safety if they get in social media trouble. They got to listen to her.
Oh, don't hit sin for an hour?
2 hours. No, he'd probably go 2 or 3 with that.
Florida State, LSU, 2022-2023. It's good news, I suppose. I am disappointed that the locale will not be Baton Rouge for when we play LSU, but rather New Orleans. And I like New Orleans, but I would have rather gone to be on campus. I always want to be on campus. When in doubt, that's what you do. And I also don't like taking a home game away from us, which is what they did by going over to Orlando. First of all, we have a huge listener base in Orlando and apparently a sizable alumni base in Orlando because we're forever catering to freaking Orlando.
We do well in Orlando.
We do great in
speaking.
Orlando.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. It's unbelievable. It's weird. It's like outside of Tallahassee is the highest rated city that we're on in. Well, we're not even on over there, but you can download us, obviously, stream us. Our numbers are huge there.
Yeah, it's because the city is so much larger. than Tallahassee. It's almost a 1-to-1 ratio digitally, which is crazy. And that came out of nowhere. It used to be Miami and Tampa, but then Orlando it's picked up.
Orlando said, give us some Cameron show all the time. Let's go. Which I appreciate that. But, it is kind of strange because I've spent a lot of time over the years ripping Orlando as a city. Not to find people.
Well, it's not like you didn't rip Miami or Tampa or Jacksonville.
I rip a lot of cities in the state of Florida.
Yes, you do.
I feel like growing up in Florida, you can just do that, right? It's like ripping your own. You can do that.
Yeah.
There are good things about all those cities.
There's ample evidence to rip each and every one of them.
Oh, every one of them. But I feel I can get away with ripping them because I rip Tampa all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I start. Listen, I ripped the stupid landing over in Jacksonville and how spread out it is.
Yeah, they bow up all the time.
They get upset when you do that. They do.
I don't get what that is.
Inferiority complex. I don't know. It's something along those lines, I think. It's strange to me because I rip Tampa all the time. Miami's actually grown on me over the years. I used to spend a lot of time ripping Miami. Now I'm like, I like going down there.
Yeah, but you don't have to deal with the traffic.
I don't want to live there. No, there's just a lot to do. There's a lot of fun things to do.
Miami
and
Beach
I
was
do
nice.
like that it's a metropolitan. I like that there is a lot of culture there.
Oh, there certainly is.
And I love that.
It's you talk about unique cities with New Orleans. Miami is, yes, unique in its own way, man.
Yeah, but not as cool as New Orleans. I can tell you that. Not even anywhere close.
Well, I didn't say cool.
Just not.
It's got a look to it. You get out the airport, you're driving around towards
sure.
the beaches, and it's got its own, gravitas.
Without question. I'm looking at Billy Horschel at -2 today. What are you doing? Get off my leaderboard, Billy Ho. I don't need all that. Sorry, I was just double-checking the leaderboard. Somebody had emailed in while we were doing the show, like, where's Leishman? He's at -2 because he's always at -2. Leishman is a cut-making machine, money-making fool, is Mark Leishman.
Somebody asked you about Leishman, huh? How about that?
I like Leishman.
You're fascinated with him, so that's interesting. Maybe there's this Mark Leishman movement.
I pick Leishman every week usually, and I make money with Mark Leishman. I'm about making money, Tom. I don't know what you're out here trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
Leishman is just solid as a rock. I just brought him up randomly. After reading that email.
After reading the email, yeah.
It's important that I bring up Leishman. It wasn't to say to Matthew that perhaps we should have gone with Leishman over Woods.
It's like Rome with gambling on the show these days. It's like all roads lead to Rome. All talking points somehow tie back to gambling and how you benefit or do not benefit from gambling on said person or
you
team.
Always benefit on Leishman or with Leishman. You just always benefit. There's no downside to betting on Mark Leishman. I should go around the country, guys. If I could part with one thing here today, remember Mark Leishman. There you go, man. When it's foggy, he's your light.
You should tell the folk on the bullhorn outside of Doak Campbell, protesting the good time everybody's having. Can I speak to you for 5 minutes about Mark Leishman?
You may not know about Mark, but Mark is steady as he goes, man. You can't go wrong with Mark Leishman. He's going to be there for you in a pinch. Everybody's going to be looking around for Bubba Watson. You never know what you're going to get with that. But there's Mark.
If we wanted to be goofy
on the weekend,
goofy morning showish, that would be a great bit. Is you do for a half an hour out there.
Talk
before
about
a game,
Leishman,
but you're on the horn just next to him. You're like, Mark Leishman, play Leishman to make the cut. You will make money.
Another cut made from Leishman. I see. As you walk into this stadium on a Saturday, it's the weekend, right? Yeah. Guess who's playing on this weekend? Leishman. That's who. Always. He's not going home on Fridays.
Leishman, 4:21. That's how many cuts he's missed in the last 21 tournaments. 17 out of 21, guys. You can't get much better than that.
Put $100 to make the cut on every tournament. Who's cashing? Right here, buddy. Every time.
Enjoy the game.
Enjoy it. The way I enjoy Mark Leishman golf. Steady as it comes right there. Way to go, Leash. Another putt made from Leishman, I see. He'll be around on the weekend.
I see you have a second roadie beer over there. Come on, man. I just gave you gold. You can give me a domestic.
Part ways with that sucker, would you? Xavier Peters is qualified. He'll play defensive end here at Florida State. In all likelihood, he is said to hit like a Mack truck. Bama wanted him. Florida wanted him. Georgia wanted him. We got him. Good to hear. Florida State LSU, just mentioned it. 2022, 2023, we go New Orleans and Orlando in that two-game set. Noles all-time 7-2 against LSU have really, really dominated them. And again, My angst is, once again, that we don't play these games on the respective campuses. That's a shame. Tamarron Terry back at practice. That was really good news. Of course, he had the calf strain. It looked like it was going to be a problem. Might miss some time. Did not hinder him. He has made his way back to practice. That is good news indeed. Corey and I were kind of talking about this when it went down at first. Look, my man's shown he's pretty ready. You don't have to play him throughout camp, but he's back.
Well, and a calf can be, it's not the
troublesome
hamstring,
deal there.
but a calf is, that could be a lingering problem. So hopefully it is not one.
Other news of the day was that, again, today, just like yesterday, they're picking up the tempo. Practice getting a little bit faster now. Guys being challenged. They had the pads back on now, and it'll be interesting to see who can hang in, especially with that group up front. The linemen look like they were sucking wind there.
You know what's going to be unique about this year beyond the IMG trip that they're not allowed to officially say that they're doing? When they come back from all of those, closed-off practices, everybody's going to be scrambling to see who's in a walking boot, who's in crutches, who's present in practice, because you've got a week's worth of potential attrition issues that we won't hear about unless you've got a really well-placed source.
Well, Tim Lanefeld will be there. He is of Seminoles.com. Obviously their own website, the university website, the athletic department website. They'll be there reporting, obviously, all things good Florida State. They're not going to give you the negative or anything like that. But he'll be a straight shooter about what he's seeing.
Maybe
to some extent.
I heard one report that they can't even do anything.
That Seminoles.com can't?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell, man? Why is this so super duper secret? What is the deal?
It's got to be
recruitable athletes? Is that what that is?
It's got to be a rule loophole of some kind, because the way they treat it is like it is very much a recruit, a prospect. You can't. Willie Taggart can't acknowledge specifics of the trip. He can only acknowledge the trip. So it's like asking him about recruiting a current class. You can say, "How's the class coming, Willie?" He says, "Well, we're coaches are on the road. They're recruiting. We hope we get some yeses." So, Coach, what about going on the road? Well, the benefit of it is, I can't tell you where, but we're not going to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, we were both at that press conference, and a couple of people tried to get him to open up about it, and he actually joked and said, "You're trying to get me in trouble here."
Yeah.
So clearly they've been told in no uncertain terms, just zip it.
Well, IMG has 3 blue-chip offensive linemen available this cycle. We already have one of them that's firmly to the Noles.
And I'm a big fan.
But there are 2 more. So, and they weren't allowed. The one wrinkle here with IMG is they did not allow any of their student-athletes to attend Saturday Night Live or any event that was like that, a cookout in Alabama or Gainesville.
Yeah, the unveiling of stuff at Alabama.
They said across the board, no traveling. We're not going to make any exceptions. So Florida State is taking the party down to them.
Elsewhere in college football, and we are just 15 days away from the start of college football season. You're damn right we are. I saw where it's back. If you missed it, flip around your dial here. I don't get any money out of this, so it's not it's not self-serving. You see, College Football Live is back, man. They're here. They go. Interviews from all around the country with coaches this week. A lot of sort of specials that are build up to the season. A lot of previews and all that. And I saw where Nick Saban was shown to have addressed the press yesterday regarding the situation with Tua and Jalen Hurts. And he's going to say what he's going to say. At least this time around, he didn't try to cast it off on the media, which is what he usually does, is that somehow we've invented this quarterback controversy. But it is the first time, and it's been noted by Alabama fans, really, that I can think of, that you had a guy of that stature on the team just openly defy what Saban would want him to do or not do, and speak candidly with the press about his dissatisfaction.
Yeah, and it's weird, too, because he's almost, daring Saban to do something. Almost like he wants an unconditional release in making that type of statement. Now, it's not just the clip that you saw when he's on the field where he's, noting that not one single coach came to him in the offseason
and talked to him, right?
And talked to him. In the end, I think he wrapped it up by saying, it's fine. This is the situation I'm in, and that's the way it's going to be. But at the same time, he's almost bragging about how he only has 1 semester left. and he's telegraphing
15
that
credit
he's gone.
hours, right? He's going to take it and ride, man.
Why would I sit out a year for 15 credit hours that I could finish right now this semester? I found that interesting. It was almost like a taunt of, you can't do anything to me.
But here's the thing that I don't get, and this has been a big talking point, because you look at the top 5 to 10 teams in the start of the season, and these preseason rankings don't always mean much, but you obviously know Alabama's going to be very good and the odds-on favorite. So I get why it's in the news, and I get why it's a story, because the kid went 27-2. And it's hard to, but quarterback wins is not a thing necessarily, but people love to cite records. And really, we've seen Alabama win a bunch of titles and a bunch of games without having anything more than adequate quarterback play, average-ass quarterback play. The thing that made us all roll our eyes was that we now see a kid that's actually pretty special at throwing the football around, and that's going to be a problem because they were winning and winning big without a guy that could do that consistently. But the point of me saying all of that is to say, well, he has won a lot of games. It hasn't been because of him that they've won those games. Sometimes it's been in spite of him. But he has been all the while a really, trusted and well-thought-of team leader. For him to come out now is the first sign that maybe that's maybe what we're all clinging hope to, that maybe he doesn't have such a stranglehold on how kids behave within his program, because that's been really admirable.
Yeah, you're looking for cracks.
You're looking for anything.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I
there.
won't make that leap like some people have, but I think that's why people get excited. As for what it means, well, when he transfers, who cares? It's not going to hurt Alabama unless Tua gets hurt.
No, but he'll make a program that's
he'll take
average,
a middling
above
program
average.
and make it look pretty decent. Yeah,
it'll be a scary proposition every single week he takes the field. It's one of those deals. If you get good Hurts, I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
But you can get terrible Jalen Hurts from a
and keep you in a game.
You get him in third and obvious, and yes, absolutely, he could turn the ball over.
I thought the most disciplined thing he did in the game against us last year was throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, they clearly told him that,
hey, listen,
man,
don't force this.
Especially by, middle of second quarter, they're saying, okay, they've thrown everything they've got at us. As long as we don't help them, we should be A-okay here. And they were right.
What you want to see in preseason tonight, it's not just the Bucs that we have here for you, but I think a lot of people will tune in. They'll want to see guys like a DJ Moore with Carolina, wide receiver out of Maryland, that a lot of people kind of raised an eyebrow at when he was taken. Josh Allen for Buffalo will take the field tonight. I think a lot of people want to see that for the Bears. You look at Roquan Smith. I don't know how much he'll play since he missed some time, but on down the list we go. I mean, I doubt people are tuning in to see Cincinnati's Billy Price, the center out of Ohio State, but I'm looking for all these first-round draft picks, Vita for Tampa Bay.
I mean, he's still banged up, isn't he, I think, with the lower body injury.
So I don't know how much you get to see him, but Minkah Fitzpatrick will be on the field tonight for Miami.
The buck I want to see is Ronald Jones, the running back out of USC.
Agreed.
Because there are shifty abilities. I think that translate right away. I just want to see about if he can put burst on display. How does that play against the speed of the NFL?
By the way, I was reminded, as you said, that you might have chosen Cleveland had they been able to stay healthier. I forgot that they did so well in the draft. It's not. I think it gets overshadowed because we're all, the arguments about whether Baker Mayfield should have gone there. But the Denzel Ward pick and the Nick Chubb pick in the second round.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I mean, yeah, they had a decent. A couple of those guys are question marks. I mean, how does Nick Chubb translate?
But he's going to translate.
You think so?
I do. Yes, I like.
Well, we
Nick
were
Chubb.
debating this at the draft week.
No. I said he could translate. We were just talking about which of the two great Georgia running backs did you want. But it wasn't that I thought that if I chose this guy over this guy, the other wouldn't make it.
Yeah, I was a Sony guy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Sony is a more explosive back, but in many ways, I think the way Nick Chubb runs is probably better off for the NFL.
Yeah, I hear you there. They have Landry now, too, to add to that receiving core. So they got a good tight end, and they got Landry. But
and they got the weed-smoking Antonio Callaway, who's not going to give it up for nothing.
He's not going to make it. But if Gordon were available, now you have an offense that's average to slightly above average. And I think you got a pretty good defense, too. So, and that's with Taylor being the starting quarterback. I wonder what their second receiver position looks like.
By the way, Saquon Barkley out there tonight for the Giants.
I think he'll be fine.
It's going to be good.
How's that O-line going to be, though, right? Because everything they ran was out of shotgun last year. They're throwing the ball 40 times. So what's the offense even going to look like in New York?
I'm just naming names. I'm just telling you guys to look at. Tom's favorite Gator of all time. Taven Bryan will be out there for Jacksonville, buddy.
It's like the only good thing to watch when you're watching the game. You're like, that guy can play. Holy smokes.
Washington, Deron Payne will be out there. Darius Geis will be out there for Washington. So
who got Taven? The Jags?
Yeah. Golly. A lot of talent on defense.
They've got so many alpha dogs out there.
They do, man.
That's ridiculous.
I know. Watch New England. Of course, they get Sony Michel.
Oh, man.
Isaiah Wynn from Georgia, the offensive lineman.
Yeah. They got Sony.
They did well.
They did well for themselves.
They sure did, buddy. I'm just naming all of these first-round guys that you can get a chance to get a look at.
Does Arizona play tonight? Josh Rosen?
Does Arizona? I mean, there's 12 games, I would think.
They play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so it may not be the Cards tonight. But when you get to like Josh Allen with Buffalo, I'll just watch the mashup tomorrow. I'm not going to go try and find him on TV somewhere.
I can tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sit there and tune in and weep as I watch Quentin Nelson pancaking people on every play, knowing we damn well could have had him.
Now knowing that Jameis would have been suspended for 3 games, do you still want the walk-off win against the Saints? Because you probably could have gotten Quentin Nelson if we lost that game. You would have gotten
Quentin Nelson. He went to pick before us.
Right.
1 pick.
So now do you want that walk-off win?
I don't know if we would have taken him, though. We would have screwed it up. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. As life moves forward, things that were once important get replaced by things that are more important, like spending time with your family. That's what Ryan and Lorna discovered. For years, they rented out their Killarn Acres starter home, but as their lives got more hectic, they decided they wanted out of the rental business to focus more on family. Sound familiar? If so, listen to what Ryan and Lorna did. They went online and saw the hundreds of 5-star reviews for Joe Manassa. They knew he could give them the quick, stress-free selling experience they were looking for, and that's exactly what happened. Joe's extensive marketing had them under contract and over asking price the day their house hit the market. Dream realized. This Tallahassee family had more time together and less time managing the rental this summer. Joe guarantees to sell your home at a price and deadline you'll agree to, or he'll have it bought for cash. Call Joe to find out more about this phenomenal program. Call Joe Manassa today at 850-888-0888. That's 850-888-0888 or online at manassa.com. That's MANAUSA.com and start packing.
It's time to fire the cannons.
Fire them cannons!
Tallahassee has a new home for Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's sports monster. Your home for Tampa Bay Buccaneer football.
Touchdown Tampa Bay! There you go!
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Did you know that nearly every American sports team has at least one chiropractor on staff? They know that taking care of the spine and extremities is directly related to performance, and that's what we do at my office every day. I'm Dr. Rob with HealthSource Chiropractic, and it's my passion to restore health and optimize the lives of my patient family members. We use evidence-based methods with high-tech, simple science techniques to provide measurable results in the shortest time possible so you can get back to doing what you love. Don't just take my word for it. Read any of our over 100 5-star reviews. Call HealthSource today, 877-8980.
Attention students. Looking for new furniture or mattresses? Call Tallahassee Furniture Direct today at 545-7112. Brand new furniture and mattresses at ridiculously low prices. Mattress sets less than $200. Bedroom sets less than $400. Living room sets less than $600. And complete apartment packages 50% below retail. Tallahassee Furniture Direct, 545-7112. Quality furniture, low prices. Delivery is available. Tallahassee Furniture Direct, 545-7112.
We know at Deer Camp, shaving is overrated. There's no right answer to how many days you can go without a shower. And you can't count on truth, but you can count on snoring. We know the great outdoors, we love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's bring you the Fall Hunting Classic, offering the best deals, gear, and special events to keep our tradition of conservation going strong. Visit BassPro.com and Cabela's.com for more information.
Coffee shop, gas station, grocery store, Pauly's Palace of Fine Coats. One of these purchases is not like the others. Sound suspicious? We thought so too. Today, we're recommitting to you and continuing to help keep your money safe, like alerting you to certain card activity we find suspicious. If it's not your purchase, we'll help you resolve it. Wells Fargo, established 1852, re-established 2018. Availability may be affected by your mobile carrier's coverage area. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Front Row Knowles, featuring Tom Block and Keith Jones, is brought to you by Hobson Chevrolet in Cairo, Georgia. Get your best deal the Hobson way. Catch Front Row Knowles every Wednesday night at 6, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. I like when you get the anonymous coaches able to talk open and honestly about weaknesses, strengths relative of these other teams around the country. It's always fun to do that. I know Athlon did something recently where that happened.
Yeah, isn't that part of the checklist in a way?
Yeah, it's usually one of the last ones, isn't it, these days? By the way, Madden came out today.
Oh, yeah.
Games for Less.
Okay.
Appalachian Parkway. My good buddy George has been working over there locally for 20-plus years now, I think it is. So he usually gets it in a little, gets the game in before everybody else.
Yeah, sure.
So just saying, possibly that's true. But they did a cool thing here on Sports Illustrated and went through and took a look at SEC teams, Alabama, Auburn, and others. And when you read what opposing coaches had to say, it's kind of funny. They start with Gus Malzahn in Auburn. Under Coach Gus Malzahn, quote, is the epitome of SEC football, a great combination of power football combined with gadgets and trickery, simple concepts for explosive athletes. And when I read that line, I thought, well, here we are. That's exactly what we're attempting to do, right?
Both sides of the ball, yes.
Facing Malzahn, you have to prepare for things that he did 10 years ago as an offensive coordinator because you never know what he's going to dig up. It actually waters down what you're doing in a game because you're spending time covering your bases and chasing ghosts. There's still a lot to be desired with quarterback Jarrett Stidham. Facing a rush, his eyes come down. He gets nervous because he doesn't want to get hit. If you're bringing pressure, or even if you act like you are, he's going to see it, and it's going to affect him. That's pretty scathing.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
That doesn't bode well for the league. His chances in the league.
And he would not do well then at the individual drill we saw the other day at practice where they're bouncing the exercise ball at your feet and thighs. His eyes would always be trained down.
Yeah, it is an exercise ball. I hope he doesn't flinch at that. But yes, I could see where that kind
habits are habits.
Yeah, that's a bad one to have for a quarterback. There's no doubt about that. Alabama. Scouts said about them, let's remember they shouldn't have been in the playoff and won the championship by the skin of their teeth. It wasn't a totally dominant Nick Saban team a year ago. That being said, this team could be better than last year's. Their offense could be as explosive as it's ever been in the Saban era. Quarterback can make plays that you've never seen from a quarterback at Alabama before, and the new offensive coordinator, Mike Locksley, is more of a spread guy than his predecessors, so he'll air things out, that's for sure. Jerry Jeudy is their next great receiver. Very strong at running back, and Damian Harris, and Najee Harris are one of the best tandems in the country. There's more uncertainty on defense, though. They did lose 8 starters to the NFL, but the big question is if they'll take a step back with former coordinator Jeremy Pruitt now at Tennessee. But when you have a guy like 6'7", 300-pound end Raekwon Davis, it doesn't always matter. As good as they are, nothing comes easy because the competition in the SEC West is good. Auburn is loaded. LSU and Mississippi State will be a handful. Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher could be interesting.
They've got a stable of backs, but I really like watching Najee Harris in particular at Alabama. That's a dude and a half.
I like every Alabama running back they've ever had. I swear, every year I go, well, there's another stud at running back. It's just ridiculous. I like Damian Harris. I know you like Najee Harris. They're both really good.
Yeah, I think there are multiple correct answers when you're talking about Alabama stables, right?
It's ridiculous, man. What did they say about Clemson? It might be the best defensive line we've ever seen in college football, is what one guy says. Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, Farrell, Bryant, all future first-round picks. They aren't the only good ones, though. Everybody in the country wanted Xavier Thomas. He could have started at a lot of places as a freshman. Now he'll have to fight just to be in the rotation. So it's not just the starters you have to worry about. With those guys up front, their linebackers may never be touched. It's hard to know how they'll look on offense because of the uncertainty at quarterback, but they'll hang their hat on the short passing game. You really have to challenge their short throws or the chains will just keep on moving.
That's funny, though, on defense. So maybe a linebacker play at Clemson gets hurt for NFL scouts. Well, I mean, come on.
Nobody touched the guys.
Nobody ever touched you. Yeah, that's great you have all these solo tackles.
You also have to tackle well because they can put the ball where it's a one-on-one. They may not be as explosive as they've been in the past, but they will go on lots of double-digit play drives, and Etienne can always break a big one if you don't fit the play correctly. They still like to beat you over the top. T. Higgins can be that guy to make them even more explosive. He's 6'4", 200 pounds, and can really run. They also still have, and by the way, that still matters to me, and it's unbelievable he's still there. They still have, in all capitals, Hunter Renfrow is still there. Good God, man.
Who do you think
graduate already?
Who do you think is thrown more to in a big third down situation? Cameron Brate in Tampa Bay at the NFL level, or Hunter Renfrow at Clemson at the college level? I think it's close.
That's true. That's true.
Every time.
Yeah. It's true. Frustratingly so.
Yes, for both parties, I'm sure.
I wanted to end this segment by noting Florida State. And, yes, they did write about us as well. Given he was a true freshman, quarterback James Blackman did a good job last year after the knee injury to DeAndre Francois. You don't see true freshmen who weren't the number one guy in camp just pop in there and play. They'll have Francois back. Health will be a big question early on. I'm not so sure he's recovered from that injury just yet. New coach Willie Taggart ran the quarterback a lot when he was at South Florida, so it will be interesting to see if he still will. Neither Blackman nor Francois are natural runners. It's no secret that their best players are their running backs, Cam Akers and Jaquez Patrick. Top priority of Taggart's offense is to make space through formation and motion for his backs to operate. At Michigan State, new Florida State defensive coordinator Harlan Barnett ran press quarters, cover 4 coverage that keeps 2 safeties in the box. That puts pressure on your corners to cover one-on-one on the outside. But if you got good corners, that defense can make you miserable. And Levante Taylor is a great corner. If they have one more, just find one more. They may have one in Stanford Samuels III, too. They could really be a problem for teams this year on defense. Right.
Well, and it sounds like they could shade Stanford to the other side to help if he wants to truly play safety. So, yes, in business.
Yeah, and it's funny. I get asked a lot about what I think we're going to look like offensively, and my attention always these days turns to the defense. I really like everything I've heard from Harlan Barnett, and even in these few practices we've seen already, you can see that they are not lacking in talent there. They have a ton of talent in that secondary. And I do think they can play singles on the outside there and put pressure on you, bring those safeties down. Yeah, I think they're going to stop the run.
Well, I think the question mark will be depth in the interior until Marvin Wilson is back,
I agree
right?
with that. I agree with that.
What he does to fortify. All of a sudden, you have DeMarcus Christmas and Fred Jones, and that looks really good with Marvin Wilson, complementing everything.
In truth, the real good news here is if you can survive Virginia Tech, which you can, it's one game, it's the first game of the year, adrenaline will be flowing, all that good stuff. You really don't have to have Marvin back, I wouldn't say, until maybe Louisville. Certainly you want to back by Miami.
Well, according to the observations today, I mean, he's still working through some things, but he has shoulder pads on.
He is.
And it looks like progress is being made. You just don't like to see, stagnance when it comes to rehab, but it looks like he's doing more than certainly he was capable of doing when they were in jerseys and shorts earlier in the week.
You want to hear Miami's?
Yeah, sure.
The Miami way under Coach Mark Richt is simple. Our players are faster and bigger and stronger than your players, so we're going to let our players play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. With the Hurricanes' talent at their skill positions, a team like Duke has no business competing against them. But last year, the Blue Devils made adjustments, and the game was tight until the end. you'd like to see Mark Richt and his staff make more adjustments. There's a lot of explosiveness on offense. Quarterback Malik Rozier is not an elite runner, but he's good, and he can hurt you on draws, zone reads, and design quarterback runs. He makes big plays in critical moments. They've got big-time playmakers on the perimeter. Amon Richards broke Michael Irvin's freshman record at the school. When he missed the end of last season with a left knee injury, you saw how important he was to their team.
He is something, man.
He's healthy now and easily one of the top receivers in the country. Defensively, they're small, scrappy, and they're going to blitz from all over the field in their 4-3 set. The defense will keep them in games. If their offense puts it together, they could go far. Yeah, my question is the offense, obviously, and I hate their quarterback. I mean, this guy was trying to say nice things, but it felt efforted. You know, it was sort of a, well, he's not great, but he makes some plays every now and then.
Hey, if he can put it together.
Yeah. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Is your car's AC keeping you cool? With Tallahassee's summer season here to stay, stop in now to any auto and tire super service center and take advantage of their $69 AC recharge special. That's right. Visit any auto and tire super service center and recharge your car's AC for just $69, keeping you and your family cool all summer long. Visit any of their 5 auto and tire super service centers, locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. We get it. You're used to a certain kind of lemon lime experience. But why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Take this last second shot or make the last second shot. Make this musical request or this one. So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump last second shot showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Are you tired of getting the same 2-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener and DeWalt have your answer. Buy a 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
It's hard to feel lucky when your dishwasher breaks, or your dryer, or refrigerator. But maybe you should. Right now, the Home Depot has up to 25% off the high-quality brands you'd feel lucky to own, like GE, LG, and Samsung. So if you've got an appliance that needs replacing, this could be your lucky break. Get up to 25% off top appliances now, only at the Home Depot. more saving, more doing. U.S. only. While supplies last, see store for details. Valid through August 22nd.
With the Bloomberg Business of Sports report, I'm Michael Barr. The Professional Fighters League has raised $28 million from a group of high-profile investors. That includes Washington Capitals and Wizards owner Ted Leonsis and actor Kevin Hart. Unlike mixed martial arts powerhouse UFC, the PFL has a more traditional league-style format with a season-ending championship. The Arizona Cardinals are challenging fans to eat a $75 belly-busting burger. University of Phoenix Stadium will serve a 7-pound gridiron burger. It features 5 1/3-pound burger patties, 5 all-beef hot dogs, 5 bratwurst, 20 slices of American cheese, 8 slices of bacon, 8 chicken tenders, 12 ounces of fries, lettuce, pickles, and a special sauce on a 10-inch bun. If you can eat the whole burger in under an hour, you'll get a Cardinals jersey and your photo on the scoreboard. With the Bloomberg Business of Sports report, I'm Michael Barr.
Welcome to Office Depot. Can I help you?
Absolutely. I've got to get my school shopping done today.
All right. Right now we've got mechanical pencils and Crayola markers for $1, plus 25-cent notebooks. What's on your list?
What's on my list? I need pencils, 6 notebooks, a backpack, 2-inch binders.
If you've got a list, we've got the supplies. Come into Office Depot Office Max to get select back-to-school supplies for just $1 or less. Shop online on our app or in-store for low prices all summer long at Office Depot Office Max. Limits apply. See store for details.
Summer is here. The sun is out, and so are you. When you go, take along a clever little app called Audible so you can listen to the stories you love while doing the things you love outside. A walk, a run, the pool, or the beach, all better with Audible. For just $14.95 a month, you get a credit good for any audiobook from the world's largest selection. If you don't like it, exchange it anytime. So get outdoors with Audible. Start a 30-day trial and your first audiobook is free at audible.com.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Bill Snyder is going to be on that sideline the day he keels over. A 3-year 5-year contract extension for Bill Snyder, who's 78, going on 100.
So you're not going to give my kid the job, huh? Well, I want 5 years.
You can't let Bill Snyder hold you hostage. I do understand he's responsible for your stretch of success that nobody else can seem to muster when he's not there.
That is a unique situation.
Wow, goodness gracious. You get $3.45 million for 2018, and after that, his salary will increase each season by $300,000. So my man is going to be making over $4 million here in a couple of years, and you're going to go, why is Bill Snyder 80 years old making $4 million plus a year at K-State?
Which in one season is probably like more than the first 27 that he coached combined.
Oh, man. It hurts. It hurts. And somewhere Jim Leavitt's like, oh, well, okay.
I need Mario.
It's not in the cards here.
I need Mario to tank here so I can just take over in Eugene.
I don't think they'll do. No, he's on staff now. I mean, he would get blamed too. They'll clean house.
That would be interesting if the reason you had to fire a coach at Oregon is because the defense was so good that it wasn't being, the offense wasn't holding up its end of the bargain.
Yeah, that would be strange, right? No, they were smart to do what they did. They overpaid, but they wanted to keep continuity, and it's paid off in recruiting. They're doing okay. They're doing quite well for Oregon, for that matter. But man, alive. We've seen that thing play out.
I want to ask you, if you're doing sports radio in Manhattan, Kansas, what are you thinking? But then, you'd be doing sports radio in Manhattan, Kansas. So
you'd be thinking, how the hell do I get out of Manhattan, Kansas?
Yeah.
That's what you'd be thinking.
More so than any Snyder drama.
It's just, oof. But, again, in fairness, K-State was nothing before he came along, and I remember way back when being awfully critical of what they did and what he did, which was to play nobody as often as possible. He put together the worst schedules imaginable, and it turned out to be the right way to go about your business because they begin to win games, and prior to that, Kansas State didn't win games. And at some point, you're able to walk into a kid's living room and say, hey, we went to a bowl last year. We went to a bowl the last 4 years, and we've got it moving in the right direction. And the kids, as you learn later on in high school, they're not looking at specifics as to who you beat and what your schedule rank was. And Bill Snyder knew this. He knew we got to get some wins because winning begets winning, and we begin to feel different about how we present ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, and we'll go out there and play differently. And he was right about that. He does deserve credit. It's just time's up, man.
I like that from afar. You're saying, all right, enough is enough over here. I am offended in Tallahassee.
I'm not
that
offended.
You got a 5-year
I don't care what
deal.
happens to Kansas State, but it's a 5-year deal for a 78-year-old man. It's ridiculous.
Would you make any kind of 5-year commitment to anybody age 78?
No. And I'm not saying he's going to die, although the chances are that it could, getting higher.
I mean, of the coaches.
I mean, that's the guy you're going to bet on to die. Either that or somebody who's really fat as hell. But, yeah, I mean, that's Do you think – I mean, I don't know what it would be like to be a diehard Kansas State. I get to talk about this on Saturday, so I'm going to bring it up.
It would be incredible towards the end of the contract if he led the team on the field on a rascal. And it's painted purple and silver.
He actually referenced himself as 100 years old. He's having fun with it. And so that would be part of having fun with it. Roll out on a rascal would be
absolutely.
funny. Like, if you went all in and embraced it, that would be good. All right, look, I am what I am. That's all right.
Remember, guys, don't bump the rascal. Pretty fragile coach here.
As an aside, we've heard it twice now, and it does make me smile, and I haven't touched it yet. The wrong Tommy Fleetwood getting, what was it, $150,000 American?
Yeah, 154 American. Yeah, 154,000.
Imagine that moment where you randomly, you check your bank account for whatever reason, or you're pulling out money and you get the slip and you go, what in the world?
How did they get my information?
But hey, listen, I don't care. Keep depositing $150,000 in my account. I didn't know at first where the money came from because it just appeared as a wire transfer, said Fleetwood, who wasn't a runner-up at the U.S. Open. When it fully got posted to my account, that's when it said European PGA Tour. Didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out whose money it really was. Greg Thorner, one of Florida's pro Tommy Fleetwood friends, posted a picture of Wells Fargo's account, the Wells Fargo account summary to his Twitter on Wednesday. I told him he should keep it. That was never in the cards, said Fleetwood. I was never going to keep it unless he won $1.84 million. Then I'd disappear to Canada. Kidding. I would have had to send it back. Yeah, imagine if his cut had been bigger and you checked your wire transfer, and for a momentary glimpse, your account, you had it. You knew literally had over $1 million in it.
Okay, if you saw a wire transfer for even $150K to your account, are you happy or nervous if that happens?
I'm instantly nervous. I don't know why somebody is doing that. I would have thought that somebody I love passed away and somehow the money was left to me, and I'd better get to the bottom of this because I've not been told of anybody I know dying.
I would have thought I need to contact the authorities. Who is using my account to funnel money in and out?
A number of things. I would have been concerned about somebody passing away. I would have been concerned that it was the wrong, spot. First of all, I mean, this is clearly not right. Nobody's told me they were about to drop $150K on me.
Right.
Nobody said, hey, Cameron, what's your PayPal?
Wouldn't that be something?
Woo!
I'm going to PayPal you for this thing. And then it's $150,000. And it's that person. You go, I didn't know they had it like that.
Yeah. My goodness gracious.
I just gave him some AA batteries.
$150,000. He had gone to Walmart. He'd pulled out, or he'd bought something for $12 at Walmart, and then it's underneath the Walmart purchase that it's a deposit for $154,000. Ooh, must be my lucky day. I'd have been playing that clip over and over again. That's what you do right there. Some sort of incentivized banking program. I must be coming out ahead.
This must be my damn lucky day.
Even $1? Spend even $1? How many people would look at that? The problem is it's too much. So $154,000, people aren't going to ignore. People are going to come looking for that, and or it's going to alert bank officials. This man just deposited $154,000. Listen, I'm probably wrong on this. I'm no banker. But I thought there was something to this where if you deposit a certain amount of money in your account that's above and beyond anything close to what you've deposited before, is it bank discretion or something where they can look further into that?
I think they can flag it and report it, can't they?
That's what I thought too.
Not even just contact you. I think they can report it. Hey, man,
homeboy,
I know what this guy's income is. I approved his home loan. This ain't right.
Something's going on here. He's turned into a hitman. Yeah, $154,000, and that's just for what? What's his place at the British?
Was it a top 20 finish? Something like that? He only played one good day. His second round was a 63 or 64.
He went berserk with it, though. He did. He went crazy. That story is out of golf. There was a sad story. I should draw attention to this out of golf. It's a tough one, but it is worth mentioning. For people that knew of Jared Lyle, the golfer, he was battling leukemia. He lost his battle with leukemia at the age of 36. That was a tough follow. I followed him. This sounds strange and very, very, I guess, millennial. But I followed him on Instagram because he was courageous. He had been originally diagnosed at the age of 17, Tom. And he fought through it, overcame it, made it on tour, won events, for a time had really etched out a great career for himself. And he was forever posting pictures of his daughters. He had 2, and his wife, and just seemed like a great guy. All the guys on tour loved him. And he was diagnosed again as it came back in 2017. And for a time when you followed him, you could see he was making progress. And so for me, I follow a lot of people on Instagram, especially athletes and things like that, just especially if they're interesting. You watch their training methods and all that kind of stuff. And I was following that story, but it took a sudden turn for the worse, and you could see that wasn't going to end well. And they posted just last week a final picture from his account and announced that it was going to be the final picture that they would send out.
Yeah.
He had decided to
take himself off of
treatment. And he was going to go home and live out his days. And the picture is beautiful. It's hard to look at. It'll cause you to mist up. It will, especially if you're a parent. It's really difficult to look at. He's in his hospital bed, clearly hurting, holding his daughters. That's the last picture they ever showed. But he passed away yesterday at the age of 36. And the whole golfing world paid tribute to him. Today on tour, you'll see at the PGA Championship a lot of guys with the yellow ribbons on the hat. And he was a colorful guy, a big guy, a guy who loved life, and a guy who was by all accounts, I never met the man, but by all accounts with the members on tour, really, really beloved. Sad story, 36 years old, he passed away. It's a reminder how lucky you are if you're around and healthy and you got that going for you and you got friends and loved ones in your life. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with you. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck.
No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's EasyLaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Attention students. Looking for new furniture or mattresses? Call Tallahassee Furniture Direct today at 545-7112. Brand new furniture and mattresses at ridiculously low prices. Mattress sets less than $200. Bedroom sets less than $400. Living room sets less than $600. And complete apartment packages 50% below retail. Tallahassee Furniture Direct, 545-7112. Quality furniture, low prices. Delivery is available. Tallahassee Furniture Direct, 545-7112.
Hi, I'm Chris York with Monogram Art. While our name mentions monograms, we are a lot more than that. We offer a full line of corporate apparel to businesses and organizations, and we carry clothing brands such as Cutter & Buck, Nike Golf, Port Authority, and caps from Richardson, Outdoor Cap, Ahead, Yupong, and many more. We have the ability to create custom embroidered apparel that your employees will be proud to wear. So swing by our showroom at 2522 Capitol Circle Northeast or find us online at monogramart.com. Let us help you wear your brand.
With back to school season here, it's time to make sure your car is back to school ready. At Superlube, we pride ourselves on keeping your car maintained properly. And Superlube offers quick and convenient service, so you'll be back on your way in no time. So go to superlube.com for your back to school oil change coupons. Superlube, get your oil changed and a whole lot more. With 19 area locations, there's bound to be one near you.
How I love to Superlube my car, lube my car. How I love to Superlube my car, yes sir.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Patriots are adding $5 million worth of incentives to Tom Brady's contract this season. Brady is scheduled to make $15 million. His current contract runs out after the 2019 season. Giants wideout Odell Beckham Jr. is hoping for a new contract. In the meantime, he is at training camp. ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
Quite frankly, I think that he would like to stay in New York and wants to definitely keep that option open, but he should not, in my opinion, step on the field at all during training camp. I think he should be protecting himself. In no way do I think the team ultimately covets in negotiations. I think it's completely overrated when we say whether a guy is there and getting goodwill out of a team or not there and holding out in training camp like Aaron Donald. Ultimately, I think they're going to get paid the same as they would if they didn't.
Jeff Darlington on Golic and Wingo. The Giants play their preseason opener tonight against the Browns. That's one of 12 preseason games tonight. The 13-member College Football Playoff Selection Committee met this week to talk about plans for the upcoming season. The first playoff ranking will be on October 30th, live on ESPN. Selection Day will be December 2nd. There are 6 new committee members this year, including former USC All-American Ronnie Lott. Cubs right-hander Yu Darvish could be headed to a minor league rehab assignment after he throws one more bullpen session. Darvish hasn't pitched in almost 3 months with triceps tendonitis. He signed a 6-year, $126 million contract in February. Tommy Fleetwood finished 12th at the Open Championship, earning just over $150,000. Problem is, the European Tour sent the prize money to a different Tommy Fleetwood, a golf teacher in Florida. The mistake has since been corrected.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Sometimes you miss something. When that happens, hey, go get caught up at your leisure, for we'll post all 3 hours upon the conclusion, both to iTunes and in our own audio vault. There you go. Email us if you want, jcs at 979espnradio.com. Our thanks to Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, the best in the business. And not just great for you do-it-yourselfers, but even the big jobs, all that stuff, everything in between, they got you covered. Go to see my friends at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Yes, you should. 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. 12 football games tonight, one of them to be heard right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. We'll talk about that a lot, over and over and over again, because we got it. I'm celebrating that fact that football's back, buddy.
How much are you going to actually watch or listen to?
I'll watch tonight.
Because what? The Fitzpatrick factor?
Yeah. I want to see. Listen, it's paramount the Bucs go 1-2 in this 3-game stretch. They might have only gone 1-2 in this 3-game stretch with Jameis. If you can find a way to get out of this run where you play the defending Super Bowl champions and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints, and that this is a brutal stretch to start a year. It would have been difficult to go 2-1 or 3-0, certainly in that stretch of games with Jameis. I think they wouldn't have been. What do you think is more likely, 1-2, even with him?
Yeah, I mean, again, I agree.
You've got a fighting chance in all 3 with him.
Yes, you do, and I mean, you can catch some teams napping in the beginning of the season. There could be a title hangover for Philly, some kind of effect like that. But they're more talented than you are. Yeah, I think 1-2 was probably what I would be shooting for anyway. I think the talking point when Jameis was, we thought, eligible for all the games was, can you be 2-2 through 4 games?
Yeah.
And if you can, then you've got a fighting chance, because the middle part of the schedule is where you can go 3-1, 4-1.
And we always know with the NFL, there's a danger in overstating what a schedule in the preseason looks like. And I'm not talking about preseason games. I'm talking about before they start playing regular season games. We all rush once the NFL schedule is laid out to say, well, they got an easy schedule or they got a tough schedule. But so many new teams make the playoffs every year. In truth, you just don't know a lot of times who's going to be good and who's not. Listen, we can all take an educated guess that the New England Patriots are going to be good. And there are a few teams like that. I like Atlanta. They took a huge step back last year when they changed their offensive coordinator and went from scoring over 30 points a game to just barely over 21. But the talent, there's a lot to like. And they were a playoff team a year ago, and you can safely assume that. You can do that with a number of teams. But really, outside of that 4 to 6 team range where okay, combined leagues, these 4 are probably shoo-ins to get into the playoffs. Everything else is kind of relative to health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's health when you catch somebody, too. Health is a fluid situation, right? So, I mean, a team in week 2 can be completely different than the team you face in week 11 if their quarterback is hurt or if their key pass rusher is hurt. It's all about when you catch a team, because if you look at a 16-game slate, schedule and results, at the NFL every year you can do this for every team. Well, how the heck did this awful team win in week 7? Or how did this great team lose back-to-back games against non-playoff teams in weeks 5 and 6?
Right.
How is that even possible? But it's just the way the NFL rolls, man.
Oh, every week, and that's why if you're ever having fun, we joke all the time on this show about gambling, and some of it's tongue-in-cheek, some of it is real. We like to partake in the game, if you will, juice things up. But in truth, if you're in an NFL pool, like with your buddies, where you're going against the number, and we're both in one perhaps, maybe.
Perhaps.
And you know how hard it is to go 500 or better in a league that's a point spread league in the NFL. It just speaks to really the difference in those games. It's a play here or there. It's a turnover here or there for the best team against the worst team.
Well, and you know how brutal it is, too, with the inactives. I mean, on a Sunday morning, it's like, oh, by the way, your best 3 players aren't playing this week.
Yeah.
It's just incredible how easily and casually that information is leaked on Sunday morning, or released, I should say, because you can't figure it out on Thursday or Friday. You may get a guy who's doubtful, and then he's ready to go, and then you have somebody who's probable all week long, and your middle linebacker is missing his 3rd consecutive game. It's just, it happens like that. So if you're putting any stock in a pool, such as a super contest, for example, like they do in Vegas. You know, they do the Vegas super contest.
Yes, they do.
You should probably wait till about noon or 12:15 before the early window.
Big time. Big time. Hard to make a living if you're gambling on the NFL. That's a brutal endeavor.
When I was in Minnesota, they released the Bucks Inactives. I forget what it is, 90 minutes before kick or 2 hours, whatever it is. But it was like Quan's out, Levante David's out, Brent Grimes is out, and one defensive lineman was out.
Like, well,
thanks for playing.
That's the end of this game.
I got on a flight for what?
No real chance here. Hey, as an aside, since we are welcoming back the NFL tonight with 12 different games and all that good stuff, did you see where Eric Weddle, the Baltimore Ravens safety, has kind of said, and I had a sense this was going to happen. He carried a new helmet. He didn't like how it felt, but the league and the NFL Players Association banned his previous model because of poor laboratory performance. His head swam with what he considered impractical video instructions from league headquarters. He took a deep breath, then he let it fly. I think the NFL is trying. You don't want to fault them for putting in the effort to finding the best helmets and keeping players safe and all of that. But the biggest problem I have is this. How do you not consult with the players and have them agree with it? You make these changes, well, we play the game. How are you going to make these cultural changes without asking us? They think it's going to make the game better and safer. Well, it's not. And he's talking about the new helmet rule and a centerpiece of efforts to reduce a league record 291 diagnosed concussions in 2017-2018. But, of course, that's misleading because they weren't really keeping track of concussions. So just until recently. And now, of course, you're going to best it by each year as you get better with technology of diagnosing them, and you're no longer hiding behind the scenes or behind the curtain, but rather at least willing to tell people that somebody has a concussion. And more players are coming forward to say that they have a concussion because they know that there's an emphasis now on treating them and getting you back in a safer manner than it used to be.
This is where the NBA is the absolute strongest of the leagues. When there is a big issue that arises, they look to form a unified front, owners and players. Even if they don't agree on what the unified front will bring, free speech or whatever it is, they always seem to collaborate. And the NFL never seems to collaborate. They dictate.
Yeah, and the NFL this past spring launched a 3-pronged attack to reduce concussions for 2018. And it teamed up with the ban of the use of 10 helmet models with the NFLPA. Okay, so they came at it with the NFLPA and said, here's the deal. 6 immediately, 4 others for 2019 that engineers hired by the league determined performed poorly in testing. It added 2 new rules, one to prohibit the lowering of helmets to initiate contact, the other to reimagine the kickoff. And it provided each team with detailed data to help stem a rise of concussions. But as a lot of the players have noted, and Chris Thompson has talked about this as well, in fact, his quote, former Florida State running back Chris Thompson said, look, I get it. You're trying to make the game safer, but football is just violent. It's a violent sport, and you're not going to be able to take that out of it. You can say, I'm going to fine you guys every time you put your head down, and you know what's going to happen? Guys are going to end up broke. It's a natural reaction when somebody is coming at you to protect yourself. Guys are going to end up broke. Good job, Chris. I agree.
And this from a player who fractured his back.
Mm-hmm. He gets it. And several other players weigh in this story. It's on ESPN.com, and it's one of the more interesting and intriguing things that I think we'll be looking at closely as the NFL season starts. Are you really going all in on this new rule? because the game will be fundamentally altered in a way where you will lose viewership. People are going to stop watching at some point if you continue to bastardize the game to this extent. I understand what was necessary at the time. We've talked about it. Yes, the league lied forever, covered up just how dangerous potentially the game is to one's brain. Refuted studies, they were like the tobacco companies saying that smoking wasn't bad for you. There's no direct link to cancer with smoking until there was. And people knew it anyhow. But I get it. Once everybody's aware of what they're doing, once you've announced it to the world every which way you can, and you've invested in trying to make the game safer within a reasonable degree, you have to then at some point just take a step back and understand the game's dangerous. It just is. You tell a boxer, look, you know this is going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you still want to box? Yes. Oh, well, all right. You're a grown-up.
In doing some headline reading, I didn't read the full article, I'll admit that. Brad Allen, the former ACC official who got promoted to the NFL, he was quoted as saying it's just going to be a preseason point of emphasis, and then it's going to return to something more normalized. But the question is, even if that's the case, and you're going to overemphasize in the preseason and assess these 15-yard penalties to try and change behavior, which as long as you communicate that, by the way, as a fan, I'm like, all right, that's fine. You're not going to call it week one, but I get what you're trying to do. I can live with that in the preseason.
It makes some unwatchable games, but okay.
Sure, but at least I understand the process of what they're trying to do. My worry is they're going to find a time in an important game, Week 15, Week 16, NFL postseason, where it hasn't been called for 6 weeks or 8 weeks.
And then somebody's going to call it.
And you know what's going to happen. First down Patriots. Because Gronk got hit and somebody lowered their head into his stomach or something along those lines. And it was 3rd and 6, and that punt could have changed everything about the game. Mm-hmm. And they're on their own 15-yard line. Well, guess what? Now it's 1st and 10 from the 30. They go down and score, and the conspiracy theorists are out again.
Rich McKay is the chairman of NFL Competition Committee, and he says there's no question it's hard on the players, but they're going to have to adjust. We're not doing this to do anything other than make this game safer. But as Weddle and other players have noted, when they watch the position-by-position videos as handed out by the league promoting new techniques of tackling, he said, well, look, the videos are clear, but they're not practical in any way. There are some plays in the videos where you watch and you say, it's physically impossible to tackle that way at full speed. We cannot do that. It cannot be done. This is hogwash. This is a step-by-step slow-motion video. This isn't the game.
And once again, it highlights the arrogance of the NFL across the board. College has gone through this crisis. And we thought for years, watching the game on Sunday, that, well, at least they're not doing what college did. You know, the NFL gets a lot wrong, but they got this right and college got it wrong. And then eventually, it wasn't because the NFL was learning from, we learned that it's not because the NFL used college football as a cautionary tale and targeting as a cautionary tale. They just hadn't decided to address it. And now that they've addressed it, it's even dumber than what college is doing.
Well, and what the NFL did do was settle a huge lawsuit, a class action lawsuit, that alleged that information about the long-term dangers of concussions was covered up, which it was. And so they had to do that, and they paid a large sum of money, and they're still being sued. The movie Concussion came out that documented CTE.
A little shaky, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, that movie came out. It was terrible, but it did. And then there has been a steep decline in youth football participation. And because of that, they're scared that the money trough's going to go away, and so they're trying to make the changes that they believe to be necessary. But a lot of people within that league believe this is all PR. They don't believe it's really pragmatic or practical. They can't find a way to implement these rules this way.
Well, you can't. Common sense would tell you that too. And I get that you're leaning this way, the way you're talking. But, I mean, wouldn't you as a PR agent just launch a campaign of football isn't for everybody? Something about a tough guy campaign, and then you release that in conjunction with NFL-sanctioned flag football leagues for kids of 7 to 14 years old, and just say, here it is, guys. Yeah. Listen, we're not advocating for Pop Warner. We're going to get you NFL-ready skills competitions. They're going to be NFL-sanctioned youth leagues around the country, and you make a decision once you become of age whether or not football is for you. But this is a great game. It's a lot of fun. You can play a version of it as a kid. But once you're an adult, football is not for everybody. But we hope you enjoy this weekend's product because it's going to be great.
Yeah, there are ways to do it. They've tried a lot of different PR campaigns, the Heads Up campaign and some of the other stuff we've seen. And getting back to the fundamentals and the basics is necessary, and I was fine with all of that. I mean, there was a way that we were taught to tackle when we were kids that really helped avoid a lot of this problem, but you can't really legislate all of it out of the game. It's impossible because it is, a violent-ass game. That's the deal.
I just think the true crosshairs in this argument is it shouldn't be college football or pro football. Probably is high school football because you're talking about JV and varsity, and what's our anatomy at that point, and can we handle the pressure and pain?
That problem, by the way, is a big, big, big problem for the NFL, period, and football in general. The more studies that come out that show that the male brain in particular is continuing to develop into its mid-20s.
Right, and it's not just football, but I mean it's the one with the highest level of incidence, especially in the trenches. And you consider that you may have a 15-year-old stud playing against an 18-year-old because the 15 is a skill player, but that 18-year-old's a man compared to a sophomore in high school, and so the risk there is much different than being 34 and 30 respectively.
We got football tonight, though, baby.
Yes, we do.
All right, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
TNT.
Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
The holidays are coming. Well, in a few months, and that's why now is the time to shower up with a beautiful custom bath or shower enclosure from Widden Glass. Don't wait for the holiday rush. Widden Glass will take care of you this summer to your complete satisfaction. They've been helping to design and install bath and shower enclosures for Tallahassee homeowners for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with real glass people, experienced, reliable professionals. Widden's top-of-the-line bath and shower enclosures provide style and luxury at an affordable price. With the holidays coming, that means family, and that means now is the time to shower up with style.
Call today. Widden Glass, the real glass people. 222-5781 or online at widdenglass.com. WHIDDON. Widden, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945. 222-5781.
Attention students.
Looking for new furniture or mattresses? Call Tallahassee Furniture Direct today at 545-7112. Brand new furniture and mattresses at ridiculously low prices. Mattress sets less than $200. Bedroom sets less than $400. Living room sets less than $600. And complete apartment packages 50% below retail. Tallahassee Furniture Direct, 545-7112. Quality furniture, low prices. Delivery is available. Tallahassee Furniture Direct, 545-7112.
Thank you. It's a phrase we can't say enough at the Jeff Cameron Show and 97.9 ESPN Radio. And to show you just how much we appreciate you, our listeners, it's time for the 7th annual Jeff Cameron Show Libations Friday Fest, held this year on a special day, Sunday, September the 2nd from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. This year, our friends at FanRetreat.com have stepped up to sponsor the festivities. So that means your first beer is on us, or Fan Retreat, really. All you have to do is head to FanRetreat.com, sign up for a free account, click on the popular retreats icon on the homepage, and join our event. Just like that, your first beer at Libations Friday Fest is taken care of. As always, we'll have free t-shirts for hundreds of you, but get there early. We run out every single year. And to cap it off, there's a free end-of-the-night raffle with fantastic giveaways from JCS sponsors. The 7th annual Jeff Cameron Show Libations Friday Fest Sunday edition, brought to you by FanRetreat.com. Sunday, September the 2nd from 4 to 7:30 at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Thank you to all of our listeners, and we'll see you there.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
No chance I can watch that video again. But there's an umpire who had a moth get in his ear. No. Stopped the game last night. Yankees, White Sox. I thought he was hurt. He's bent over. It looks like he's in pain. Then he's got a trainer looking at him. Then he goes over to the dugout. Then this guy comes out with a pair of long tweezers and a flashlight.
Tweezers.
Ooh. It's ooh.
Oh!
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when you watch it, you see them pull the live moth out of his ear.
Oh.
And it's just fluttering away, buddy. And he's standing there kind of grimacing, and they're pulling this moth out of his ear.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Woo. That's not what you do right there.
No, sir.
Didn't you have a roach run across you that has permanently scarred you?
Oh.
And you thought it was the tag? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, just extend the life of it for another 3 weeks
Sorry,
now.
I thought I'd bring that up.
I thought it was the tag of the blanket in undergrad. I still have that blanket. It's awesome, like throw rug kind of thing. And I thought it was the tag, and I just, I itched my cheek a little bit, and then
Like, this tag, damn it, I've got to turn this around.
Right. Then I felt the tag on my toe.
That's not. Oh.
No. It is, once upon a time I was an okay athlete, but this is the most athletic thing I've ever done, is I just flew out of the bed, landed squarely on my feet, and in one motion flicked the light switch on, and I had a friend in the bed, and it was not the good kind.
Ouch!
The next 3 weeks were terrible.
Well, that's why I'm still scarred with a spider web running through the one at Fort DeSoto with a banana spider the size of Texas waiting on me. It must have freaked him out as much as it freaked me out. That had to be a whirlwind of emotion for both of us. As that thing, I'm running from my brother. The next thing, there's a spider the size of my hand draped across my face. The spider has to be thinking, I was resting!
Wouldn't that be funny if there were, creatures that were that much bigger than us, but they would be freaked out by us?
Like we are them.
Like they walk through your home and you go, whoa, damn it, man. There goes all the drywall. But then they go, ah!
No. I'm not a... Listen, I'm the king of nature's out to kill you, and I don't blame nature. I understand we're all fighting here. I try to be atop the food chain. I got you. Everybody's got to do what they got to do, but I got no time for the giant spiders, and I certainly am not afraid of moths, but in my ear, man.
You ever been attacked by a bird?
No, I've never been attacked by a bird, but my mother was attacked by an owl 2 years ago. It's very dangerous. Yeah, apparently owls just straight up kill people.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, if they're being protective of their nest, they have killed people. Yes, it happens.
Is there an animal that we have stereotypes for that is more inaccurately portrayed in popular culture than an owl? Because it's considered wise, and owls are really dumb, and they're considered docile, but they can just straight up kill people.
They can kill people, and they usually get people who, like, let's say you're going up to trim a tree and you're on a ladder and you're in a vulnerable place. Coming down with those talons, that's your ass.
Your ass is in the jackpot.
You're in the jackpot now, buddy. An owl's angry at you. No, that's not cool. We have these huge hawks in my neighborhood, and I love them. They're everywhere. And I'm always watching them hunt squirrels, and they are just beautiful to look at. Well, when you and I play at Killearn Country Club, we hear them and we see them. They're gigantic.
They're smooth, man.
Oh, they're beautiful.
One of my favorite moments
freaked me out a little bit,
ever playing golf was watching the owls communicate at Killearn.
It's cool, isn't it?
That was
They're just talking
really
back and forth to
cool.
one another, yeah. Okay, we derailed the segment. We'll get it back together. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely zero-turn mowers.
Systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. It's Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
We know at Deer Camp, shaving is overrated. There's no right answer to how many days you can go without a shower. And you can't count on truth, but you can count on snoring. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's bring you the Fall Hunting Classic, offering the best deals, gear, and special events to keep our tradition of conservation going strong. Visit BassPro.com and Cabela's.com for more information.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This day in sports history. August 9th, 1936. At the Olympic Games in Berlin, American track star Jesse Owens won his 4th gold medal at the 4x100 meter relay. Although he did not run in the preliminary races, Owens participated in the final, and the team set a new world record of 39.8 seconds, which held for 20 years.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Patriots are adding $5 million worth of incentives to Tom Brady's contract this season. Brady is scheduled to make $15 million. His current contract runs out after the 2019 season. Giants wideout Odell Beckham Jr. is hoping for a new contract. In the meantime, he is at training camp. ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
Quite frankly, I think that he would like to stay in New York and wants to definitely keep that option open, but he should not, in my opinion, step on the field at all during training camp. I think he should be protecting himself. In no way do I think the team ultimately covets in negotiations. I think it's completely overrated when we say whether a guy is there and getting goodwill out of a team or not there and holding out in training camp like Aaron Donald. Ultimately, I think they're going to get paid the same as they would if they didn't.
Jeff Darlington on Golic and Wingo. The Giants play their preseason opener tonight against the Browns. That's one of 12 preseason games tonight. The 13-member College Football Playoff Selection Committee met this week to talk about plans for the upcoming season. The first playoff ranking will be on October 30th, live on ESPN. Selection Day will be December 2nd. There are 6 new committee members this year, including former USC All-American Ronnie Lott. Cubs right-hander Yu Darvish could be headed to a minor league rehab assignment after he throws one more bullpen session. Darvish hasn't pitched in almost 3 months with triceps tendonitis. He signed a 6-year, $126 million contract in February. Tommy Fleetwood finished 12th at the Open Championship, earning just over $150,000. Problem is, the European Tour sent the prize money to a different Tommy Fleetwood, a golf teacher in Florida. The mistake has since been corrected.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
And tonight they shall in preseason football right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. When we sign off at the end of this hour, we'll take it straight to Bucs pregame coverage, followed by 7 o'clock kick. Is that right? 7:30 kick?
Yeah, it's a 7 o'clock kick tonight against the Dolphins of Miami.
Gonna play the under here, Tom.
Really? This is you were teasing that you had a system yesterday, so this is it.
Maybe playing the under here. You got poor quarterback play, poor coaching, a lot of unders here early on.
So you're not worried about coverage busts?
No, I'm worried about bad quarterback play.
Okay. One thing to keep an eye out for, at least in practice, Fitzpatrick and Deshaun seem to have at least some sort of rapport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, kids. Don't go bet this game tonight. I mean, that's really it's not for the faint of heart.
But then again, who the hell knows if Deshaun's even playing in week 1 of the preseason? You'll find out when pregame coverage begins at 6 o'clock.
Right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Jeff, email. We're seriously on air worrying about the last time we scored 7. Worried about Willie offense stalling out when last time we scored 17 points against Duke and 3 against Boston College. No, man. That offense is going to, if you note the whole conversation, I did mention that I'm welcoming back the blowout. These things are going to occur when we're facing teams with inferior talent.
Well, and also, I don't think we're all eyeing another 6-win regular season. We're trying for better than that. So I'm going to ignore those games completely.
Above and beyond.
Yeah.
Well, much different looking thing. I will say this, and I got the kind of email today that I love to get because it's all things football all the time right now. You were sending an inter-office email about which games we have in the schedule and all that, and I'm just watching from afar with a smile on my face. Ear to ear, the NFL schedule is more set than the NCAA football schedule, but here we are with NFL football on a Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights, and I'm looking at the games. I'm looking at Packers, Patriots, Sunday, November the 4th. I'm looking at, Dolphins, Texans, Giants, Cowboys, all these different games, and I'm loving it. I'm looking at the NCAA games, and obviously Wisconsin and Michigan on October the 13th. We'll have it right here on our airwaves. We're going to have Alabama, Tennessee, Penn State, Michigan, Auburn, Georgia, Miami, Virginia Tech, LSU, Texas A&M. We're going to have the SEC championship game on our airwaves as well. I mean, we've got a lot of football for you here.
Army, Navy, but the 13th of October.
Army, Navy, nicely done.
13th of October is the bye week, right? Do I have that right? So there it is. You can enjoy some Wisconsin and Michigan on your bye week.
Yeah.
But that's a good game. Sometimes,
a great game.
Some years you don't have a good bye week for other competition.
For the other games, yeah. No, we do. Well, by the way, I shouldn't ignore. In September, you've got Tennessee and Georgia. We could run those games. So I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, Georgia's going to kill Tennessee, but nonetheless, we could carry it right here.
I mean, that's better than running, Fresno State and USC or something like that.
You're damn right it is, Tom. It's football right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Fire them cannons!
It's cool to hear Gene's voice on our airwaves again. It's just nice. He's been out there. I saw him at practice. And listen, speaking of which, they're picking it up. That's one thing that really stands out right about now, these last 2 days. They're picking up the pace a little bit here. And some of those linemen, offensive linemen in particular, are sucking wind. And Greg Fry has gone from being less arm around you. It's okay. You guys want to do the shaded drills first or the ones out here? No, now it's go time. With the pads coming on, you're seeing some of these coaches ratchet up the intensity as it should be. I'm struck by so many of the things that we knew to be true before, but when you watch the drills, and I love that we have, whether you're there or if you're watching online because the videos are out there, you see some guys that just have superstar written all over them, and they're usually the ones that even before you see their number and recognize in the moment that, oh, that's Cam Akers or, that's Taylor or that's, one of the things they always make the movements look so easy. Yep. Everything looks like it's a ballet. It's amazing.
Well, Willie has the policy that no single-digit numbers are given out until, you earn them. And so Levante Taylor's wearing 28. And I'll admit, the first few
it
one-on-ones,
confuses you at first.
Who the hell is 28?
He's having a great day.
And then, after a couple of minutes ago, oh, well, bleep me, man. That's Levante Taylor. Of course he's having a good day. But, yeah.
Who's not to be toyed with. That guy. Okay, so do you remember the thing I got so excited about, and he has this, that's why I bring it up. When I interviewed Cam Akers at the ACC kickoff, ACC meetings, that guy is obsessed with greatness and wants desperately to be great and is envisioning being great. I think he is going to will it to be without question, and he has the athleticism to do something about it. But when you watch, I talk about fluidity, it's not just Oklahoma drills where he just seamlessly goes, he runs as if he's not running. It's unbelievable how quickly he gets through, and you watch it and you go, it doesn't even look like he's trying. He does the same thing as a receiver now. And that's a big deal to me because when I was talking about the idea of this guy having 2,000-plus yards from scrimmage in this offense, I was envisioning a huge year catching the ball. And they're running those plays in the flats an awful lot. Why wouldn't you, when you have this kind of athleticism, this kind of one cut and go, take it to the house ability in your backfield? It's not just him, of course, but you got a lot of guys that can change that scoreboard in a hurry.
Well, yeah, you got a few base plays that are just going to be there. One was from the other day in 11-on-11. It's a seam route. You got the seam, you got the bubble, you got the inside zone / dive.
Yep.
And Cam can do two of those things very well. The third one, if he lines up out there. But I would think he can you have to honor a play action if Cam Akers has the ball in the mesh point, right?
Yeah.
You've got to crash down. And then if he can get up to full speed and release into a route, he's got the hands to catch the ball down the field as well. There's a lot going on. Even though it's simple, we have a lot of athletes to work with. All you need is just a little bit of time and a little bit of consistency at straight ahead running. If you get those two things, the question back in the beginning of the segment, the email, we'll never have to worry about a 10 to 13 point output again.
No, and again, and it was awesome to see Tamron Terry back already. I mean, and so we're talking about these athletes, these guys that can just straight up go get it and play, and our matchup problems between him, a Trey McKitty, a Cam Akers, a healthy Nooney Murray playing hard, playing for his pro career. You know, you've got some things now. DJ Matthews, when he's right, explosive opportunities on every play where you make a guy miss, and goodnight Irene, the score changes. And this whole season offensively comes back to something we said all along. If it's Jawan Williams, Derek Kelly, Alec Eberle, Cole Minshew, and Landon Dickerson is who I was forgetting. If that's your group or something like that, I guess, they just got to be average, slightly above average, for you to win a lot of games going away. The problem is that they got to be good to really good if you're going to win those big games like Clemson, on the road at Notre Dame, on the road at Miami, those games.
Yeah, agreed. Somebody who makes it look easy, too, as a freshman, Trayshawn Harrison.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to be the guy. We've got too many guys in front of him. But he's going to be a contributor, I think.
How great does it feel to be watching that level of athleticism? You get it. You get him committed, right? You go to Seattle and you say you get him to come to Tallahassee. And you can watch as a Florida State fan knowing there's a possibility he's going to see a lot of time. You know, there was none of that expectation for years.
Right. It was the exception, not the rule.
Well, right. It wasn't that he didn't ever do it, but it would take something extraordinary to get a freshman out there getting really meaningful reps at the position. And now you're going to see guys like that play.
One day in shorts, individual drills, you're not having to think your way out on the football field, but it's one of the lasting images I do have of those practices in shorts. We'll see what happens when contact is introduced and he has to go against real men over the middle. But Harrison's body control, everything about his movements
kind of speaks to
it's quiet, if that makes any sense. Like, think about it this way. James Blackman's delivery in the pocket, kind of lanky, and you can see all the mechanics of it. It's very, you see all the joints in motion. And then if you look at DeAndre in the pocket, smaller body type, but he's more fluid. Like you said earlier, the fluid movements, everything looks smooth. Trayshawn is smooth, man. It's quiet. There's nothing really awe-inspiring explosive about it that I saw. It's just he does it, and he knows where his body is in space. He knows how to shield the body against the defender to go get the ball. There's a lot of instincts to work with as he gets bigger, stronger, and more comfortable in the offense.
Well, and I do think that right off the bat we're going to see the athleticism overwhelm some young teams, especially Virginia Tech. I do. The more we get, the closer we get to this game, the better I feel about how many different weapons we have, and how the opportunity to exploit missteps and mistakes from young players trying to learn a defense that haven't played significant minutes. I mean, it's devastating for Virginia Tech to have to go against this offense if we have it running even mildly, smooth operating, however you want to say it. If we're clicking it all,
second and 7, 2nd and 6.
Mm-hmm.
You get to that situation in this offense. We've been talking about it on pregame shows in years past. What are the defensive keys to the game? Well,
win
2nd
first
and 8,
down, yeah.
2nd and 9. For us, just get to 7 or 6. You're on the ball. Here we go. Now it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and Cam Akers gets the ball in a short yardage situation. Yeah.
And it's fun because you just talked we talked so much the last several years, your idea, knocking them off schedule, if you will. And that was the key to stopping any of these kinds of offenses. And now we're going to be watching ours, and it's a different exercise, because I could picture us when it doesn't work on 2nd and 10, and you and I glancing over at each other like, well, that's not good. Oh, it's okay. After
we
each
need
first
7 or 8 here. Yeah.
I can just picture it.
There goes the tempo. All right.
But again, I don't think I can overstate how many big plays, because we just didn't see a lot of them. Obviously not last year. I mean, sweet Jesus, we've prattled on for days about how laborious that was, but you're going to see a lot of big plays. I don't feel like, when we were watching teams that run this offense, you kind of said to yourself going in, well, if you hold them to 24 or under, you should win the game. You're having a pretty good day. But think about that for a second. I mean, as the emailer correctly points out, we scored 3 points against Boston College.
Yeah.
We scored 17 against Duke. It was a war with Wake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had to make big throws at the end of that game. Think about what that game should have looked like against Miami with the way you dominate on defense for an entire half. This thing, you could have been blowing them out if you had a modicum of explosiveness in your offense.
Yeah, we got to the 50, no problem. But then after that, it was just
nothing.
like the vice grip was turned, and that was the end of that. What do you think outside of the offensive line and as it stands now? So let's not bring health into the equation if we can, for argument's sake. Outside of the offensive line, what are the biggest keys to you for the offense to do what it needs to do? Where do you look? What are you concerned about? What do you think is going to be the bread and butter? Who needs to be good? Those types of things.
Well, obviously, I think you're going to need a veteran in that receiving core to play like that, to be a game breaker in the big moments. And I just think you have a lot of guys that can do that, but I think the guys that you can depend on that have done it are obviously few and far between. I mean, I look at Anuni Murray and think about what he can do in this offense. If he's healthy and he's right, I think Florida State's offense really hums because you couple him with all those other explosive weapons that you have. Obviously, Cam Akers has to have a huge year, period.
Yeah.
He just has to be huge. And what you got to have at quarterback is, again, a level of consistently solid decision-making. I don't need greatness at the quarterback position. We did previous. We don't anymore. I don't think in this offense he has to be great. I just think he has to be responsible. I think he's got to be good.
That's an interesting point about the receivers in the beginning. You know, who on 3rd and 6 is going to be the one to make the tough catch?
Make that tough catch.
Nobody's really proven. Nooney to a degree, but nobody's really proven with any consistency.
Well, I wanted to say Gavin, but I can't. I don't know that he can. I can't rely on a George Campbell. I mean, so
right. Izzo's out of the equation.
Right.
Auden Tate was your guy in that moment.
Trey McKitty is a guy that is a nightmarish matchup. And in fact, and let me expound on this a little bit because I think it's as huge to the offense. McKitty is when you go to practice and look at him, all right? I fawn almost in looking. That's what an athlete should look like. And he's big, but also athletic and fluid. He's worked hard on improving his blocking. That's going to help out a lot. But you know what he can be as a receiver, and again, a matchup nightmare. But he is not the only guy that we can rotate in that position because I've been really impressed with Gabe Neighbors. I just want to say that. I haven't mentioned him yet, but if you watch practices, he's an impressive kid. He can catch the football, and they like Nasir Upshur. And so you've got guys at a pivotal position here.
Well, in talking to the offensive coaches yesterday, a question came up from the beat about the tight end rotation and how many guys you're trying to work in, and they said, 2 to 4. I mean, because they're going to need to get in and out just like the receiving core. So you're going to see a chance, not just for Trey McKitty he may be the featured one in that segment, but Upshur is going to be in there. Neighbors is going to be in there. And I don't know if you roll out a tailback in that set who plays an H-back type role. Maybe Jaquez Patrick can do that a little
Patrick,
bit.
maybe, yeah.
But that's the thing. It's an H-back role. There's an every...
Well, we're really athletic at it.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. All these guys can catch. Obviously, if you just got to be sure they can block. And McKitty's worked hard on that, but I think Neighbors will.
There's a Swiss Army knife element to it, and I get it that tight ends are always, by definition, something like that, but it's not line up next to the tackle always. Chip and then release into a route. Or assistant run blocking, again, lined up next to the right or the left tackle. They're going to be in the backfield. They're going to be moving around. They're going to try and get out in space and get some leverage against the linebacking level instead of being always lined up next to the tackle. You're not going to see jumbo formations with double tights as much as you did under Jimbo Fisher. So it's going to be interesting to see who can adapt to the ask there because these kids at tight end were recruited to be different things than the H-back that they're going to be now.
Oh, football. Come on, man. I know we got football games tonight. Going all the way back there, we got football games tonight. Bears, Bengals, Browns, Giants, Bucks, Dolphins, Saints, Jags, Steelers, Eagles. If you're inclined, take the Steelers there. I got a quarterback competition going on.
Right, so they're going to play harder.
Just look at certain things, Tom. That's all I'm saying. Big Daddy's here for you. This is Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely zero-turn mowers.
CGC 042221. CCC 049350.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already. Grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
So, Jeff.
Yeah.
I run into these ladies named Kathy and Grace.
Mm-hmm.
They love you, by the way.
Oh, they're smart people already.
Oh, my gosh. And darling ladies. They were at Bumpus, and they were telling me how they went to Gordo's and that it wasn't open yet. And I said, no, we are open, ma'am.
I could have assured them that it is most definitely open.
This week, we'll be in process of moving. Now, I know it's sad. I've been there for...
I'm a little emotional. I love the old Gordo's. You're telling me the new Gordo's is going to be better, though?
Well, the Gordo's and Market Square, the old Gordo's on Pensacola Street...
It's not going anywhere.
Still open. Still open, going to be there.
For life.
I hope so, God willing. And if you're on this side of town, you can always come eat at Bumpus.
New one is open when? A week, 2 weeks, something like that?
I'm shooting for a week, Jeff.
All right, I like it.
Shooting for a week and
same
maybe
great
two.
Food, same mahi, new drink specials,
new
more
drink
beer?
specials, more beers. We'll have a patio.
All right.
We're going to have, with fans and everything. It's going to be highfalutin, Jeff.
Highfalutin, the new Gordo's in a week or two. And in the meantime, go to Bumpus.
In the meantime, please come check out Bumpus.
All right. Yay, new Gordo's. We'll see you soon.
Right on.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
See where Justin Verlander said that Kate Upton saved his life? That he was really depressed back in, 2014. He was having such a bad year and thought his career was winding down. He had been hurt, but she kind of helped him in a therapeutic way. And all I did when I saw that headline, I went, yeah. I'm sure she saved your life.
I would think Kate Upton could save many a life.
I do, too. It's the first thing I thought of. I thought, man, lots of people would see their life resurrected in that moment. Things would be looking up on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm saying every day, buddy, just feeling better every day, all the time, just looking up, moving forward.
Strong.
Stronger than you realized possible. That's the kind of strength a woman can provide, especially a woman like Kate Upton. It's remarkable. Let's do probables, shall we?
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Rangers, Yankees, Ariel Jurado. Is that a bad pop artist? Look at those.
Like Miguel featuring Ariel Jurado.
Yeah, and then the music's terrible, and there's a specific kind of dance to it. J.A. Happ going for the Yankees. We got the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Rick Porcello, Ryan Barecki. All right, Ryan. I need you tonight, buddy. Come on. Good start out of you, sir. A little fantasy baseball. Nothing crazy there. Big Daddy's not telling you to run to bet anything against the Red Sox ever, because they never lose. Orioles, Rays, David Hess, Hunter Wood. Hunter Wood looks like a man who makes a living when he's not playing baseball by killing vampires. Go look at him. Mariners, Astros, James Paxton, Justin Verlander, the aforementioned, saved by Kate Upton, Justin Verlander. He's got a skip in his step at all times. Dodgers, Rockies, Ross Stripling, Tyler Anderson. We got the Buccos. My Buccos took the series from the Rockies on the road. And now they'll look to keep it rolling here against the Giants. Ivan Nova and Andrew Suarez. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump.
Blue umbrella sky.
We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming to you next. Pre-game show. Good times.
I guess we'll see. Does TJ Reeves drive that anymore? Is it Freddie Night Train Lane? I'll be interested. But Deckerhoff will certainly be a part of it, which is awesome.
Old Gino, man. Long time broadcasting, man. We were talking about this the other day. Tom Block and I were just talking about what a cool career. He's been doing this in some capacity in certain areas of the profession, like basketball, for example. I mean, you're talking about 40 years. It's amazing. 40 years.
His pace has always been good for basketball.
Perfect for basketball. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. Remember, Buccaneers up next right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. We'll talk to you tomorrow.